H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over this world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And guess what, y'all? It's Women Rock Wednesday, my favorite day of the week. Share the show, text, tell, tag somebody right now and tell them the last 5 people you text in your text said, look, Women Rock Wednesday today. Let's get on the Chop Shop via YouTube Live or Facebook Live. Let's do that right now to share the show. Got a great Women Rock Wednesday. I got some stuff I want to share with y'all. I saw a few things. They had high school basketball last night, the All-Star game. I know Jimmy gonna come on and talk about that. But first of all, I'd like to shout out to my first 5, starting 5 today. All starting 5, gentlemen. Today, all starting 5. It's always women on Wednesday, gentlemen. We'll see you tomorrow, okay? But we don't want you to leave the show, but it's Women's Day today, right? They are Mindy Collins. The women are Mindy Collins, Sonia Billingsley, Maite Cora, let me keep going, Kimberly Jackson, Jess McKee, and our 6th woman of the day is Shaquetta Pelser. She says, sup. Hey, Quetta, that's how them young people be saying, tell me sup. I said, what the hell is sup? But happy Women Rock Wednesday. Oh, there go Candace. Let me talk to all my girls, though. Hold on, I'm sorry. I see Dale Griggs. I see you, Tamika. Tamika, I saw you over the... Tamika, see, you know, I got to get this stuff right. I didn't know all of y'all, you, Kim Jackson, and that whole neighborhood, all of y'all kids together. I got to put that picture up. It's Women Rock Wednesday. Y'all got to tell me who is who in the picture, because I didn't get out to see you kids play this year, but I still got the picture of the young men in front of the stretched limo going to prom. I love that picture. I think Tiffany probably is in that. Hey, Miss Tammy. But I'm gonna put all that up there soon. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it now, cause you know when them other guys come on the show, they just interrupt my flow, and I can't be putting my people up. Hold up, I got to find it. Hold up. Yeah. What is wrong with my effects today? What I'm looking for? Not that. I got that. I got to find. Oh, here it is. Here it is. No, I got to look for my overlays. Here they are. All I got to do is look, y'all. It would have bit me if it's standing right in front of me. I think that's them right here. Tamika, your son went in the crew. Okay, I'm sorry. Look at these fine dressed young men right here, man. I don't know them all. I know Kim's son is in the blue suit with the white shirt. And I guess though that is a non-alcoholic beverage they have in their hand. But man, I'm proud of these young guys because somebody take me from left to right on the screen. And my man, I like my man in the red. My man in the red got the a red suit on. I mean, I just, they're going to the prom, but moms, I'm yes, but all those. Okay, I got you. Tamika said all them her boys. Okay, I got you. But I'm just, I like seeing that. It's Women Rock Wednesday. Every one of them kids got a mama. Guess what? Yes, I'm showing it. Yes, Walter Yates. I don't want to hear your mouth today. Oh, that's Albert. Albert is in the red. Okay, that's Albert in the red. But I mean, I just think about this. These 2, 4, 6, 7 young men who say, "Man, we gonna get together and do this together." 7 young men say, most guys, man, I'm going on my own, man. I got this guy. No, they said, okay, we might do something separate later, but right now we all together, man. I love this picture. Thank you, Kim, for sharing it with me. And it's Women Rock Wednesday. And first of all, I want to give today, man. I am so grateful. Robert Rising, I got something for you too. I'll tell you, they finally sent me the information. Very nice pic of them young men. But I want to share some with y'all. I was thinking about y'all today. I'm so grateful to have another day really to spend with you. Our goal here on this show is real simple, really simple. It's the same goal every single day. It just shows up in different ways. That's because we intend on this show. You remember I told y'all to be intentional and be about sharing the show and doing this and about being intentional about it. Hey man, I'm sharing this Chop Shop today. Hey man, I'm going to get the Chop Shop. 6 more subscribers should be on the Chop. We got to be intentional about what we do. We proactively embrace and on purpose. We walk in the middle. Y'all check this out. This show, we walk in the middle of the world's messiest intersection. This show, we do. And in this intersection, y'all, there's issues of race, culture. We talk about race, culture, summer basketball, education. And all of these issues collide in the biggest mess that we can possibly find. It's a big mess. And as we sit in the midst of this mess, we talk about it. We build about it. We study it. And we focus on solutions. We focus and we come up with solutions. I'm telling you, I was thinking about it. We dust our hands off when we get back to work. We dust our hands off when everything ain't perfect on this show. Everything is not perfect on First Take. Everything is not perfect on no show. But because for us, it's a key, y'all, that this talk empowers all of you and we put it into action. So make sure you follow us on all our social media. Got special guests today. But I'm just so grateful for this team of the Chop Shop. Grateful for Chris, Jimmy, all the people, Million, Heaven, Nicole, all these people that was part. I'm just so grateful for the listeners. I'm grateful for y'all. It's serious. This Women Rock Wednesday. I want to share this with y'all. Because without you, we have no reason to be here. There is such a privilege for me to sit behind this microphone and talk about these issues. To set the tone on what we should be looking for. That's all I do. And I know people think, how did there you go? I'm setting the tone, Kim. I'm setting the tone. Because somebody got to set the tone. But y'all have helped nurture and support this program. And I appreciate you, and I'm so glad that we get to do this every Monday through Thursday. Now, don't fret. Monday through Thursday. Y'all got to realize there's a lot of powerful people Kim, Corey, with things to say, and not all of them get to have the microphone. I had to acknowledge that on Women Rock Wednesday because I love this space. We are co-creating together. So I always bring y'all in. Just had to share that with y'all. You know, the people who get on late. So share the show right now. I think I already have. Share the show right now. Some people not going to get that. They're going to have to go back and get it. But today, Women Rock Wednesday, give me a minute. I got to shout out to my young fella who grew up right in the midst. First time I ever heard about him on this show. This young man right here. He grew up in the midst of the chop shop. He got invited to the the under 19 and under training camp. Go have USA across his chest. His dad had been watching this show from day one. Y'all got to understand this show been on for 5 years. 5 years ago, he was a little tyke. This what this stuff is all about, y'all. When you hear the people, the negative people talking all that, this what this stuff is about. It ain't about me and Jimmy. You don't have to like me and Jimmy, but this platform is it's bad. You know why I know? I'm getting calls from people yesterday. I don't know even watch the show. Do me a favor. Don't look on this thing and because you don't see nobody's name on here. It's people watching this show right now that we have no idea who watching this show. I'm telling you. Shout out to Jim. A shout out to the young man. But then I found out USA basketball. Then I go find out that the Olympics, check this out now. Ain't got nothing to do with gender. I'm just talking about USA basketball. What's up, CEO? Got guys like Clyde Jackson. Jimmy told y'all yesterday, he got the 16 under team. He funds that team. All of these powerful people in this community, man, on this chop shop. Dude, we couldn't do this without y'all. So when you talk about us, you're talking about your damn self. I ain't talking to y'all. I'm talking about, y'all know who I'm talking about. This the guy, Junior grew up with the chop shop. He's on the 19 and under Olympic team, trials right now. Then I go look at this Olympics. The Olympics will now ban any athlete. Check this out. Any athlete who wears a Black Lives Matter shirt, kneels during a national anthem, or raises its fist to oppress racism. Ladies and gentlemen, this sends the wrong message about basic human rights. And I urge the Olympic Committee to reverse this decision. Y'all got to think about this, man. U.S. athletes, I'll take you back. Tommy Smith and John Carlos raised their fists. Glove fist, Black Power salute and expressing their oppositions to racism. This is 68. In the USA, doing a national anthem after receiving their gold medals. October the 17th, 1968, for first place and third place in the men's 200-meter event in Mexico City. Yes, Jess. Like we be on here. You know how everybody want to come on here and be the chop shop police and be the chop shop activists. Activate this. The Olympics, let me repeat it. The Olympics will now ban any athlete who wears a Black Lives Matter t-shirt. He kneels during the national anthem or raises his fist to oppose racism. This sends the wrong message out, y'all, about basic human rights. Got something for y'all, man. 'Cause a lot of people, y'all was young. Y'all don't know about this. But I have older brothers and a student of history.
What I did was negative because I raised the fist toward what's supposed to be our greatest creation is the American flag. You see, son, it wasn't against the American flag, only what it represented, which is the people. He had a position, one of the greatest positions in the world, being one of the best quarterbacks and being a young black athlete, making this stand, making this political stand, making this racial adjustment.
Welcome back, man. Shout out to Tamika Withers. She just said, y'all check this out. She left a message saying, I'm sharing the show, got to get off, because she got something to do. Chop shop, have a great day. She got on because she know her presence was necessary. It's unbelievable, man. This the kind of collective we are building. Share the show right now. Share it. Subscribe, like this show. I mean, it's unbelievable. That's this woman on Women Rock Wednesday took out her time. And don't forget, mamas, let me find out. Let me find that information. Got to make sure I got all the information. I got it right. All the mamas, the Chop Shop, and the Anthony Lawrence Collection. I know everybody didn't go to these schools, but you know somebody that go to these schools. We want to do something special for Mother's Day. It's Women Rock Wednesday. And any mother that attended Howard, you got a friend. Any mother that attended University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, Xavier University in New Orleans, in Louisiana, Prairie View A&M, Doug Jones, Hampton University, Winston-Salem State University, FAMU, Grambling, Jackson State, Alcorn, or Southern University. They want to bless you with a gift. Bless you with a gift. No cost. ChopShopHTX@gmail.com. Just send your information to them. And I got you. The Anthony Lawrence Collection, think enough of the Chop Shop. Y'all, this stuff, whoever got on this show late, do me a favor, when this show is over, go back and listen to the beginning. Please. I just want to let y'all know how appreciative we are of y'all. Brandon Morris, Kenosha, Wisconsin, is on this show right now. One of the young men who I credit, everybody always give me the credit about the thing that what I did with my son, but Brandon Morris, he was living here at the time when I couldn't get through my son because I was daddy. Brandon Morris took him. Said, man, let's go work out. Let's go do this. Brandon's one of the best basketball players I've seen. Great friends, cousins to Nick Van Exel. Uh, I saw some you did, Brandon. I'm glad you're on the show, and I put it in my notes. It's Women Rock Wednesday, but we got to recognize these people on this chop shop are brilliant. You, I guess you wasn't satisfied, Brandon. I'm trying to find it, Brandon. I guess you wasn't satisfied with what was going on in your city, and you decided to run for office in your city. This is a guy who been watching. This guy who lived in Houston, helped me cultivate my son, moved back to Wisconsin, and Brandon, I'm looking forward, and you can share with the people. I was gonna post it one day. I got so many things in my but man, I'm so proud of you, young man. Cause you said, I'm not gonna wait on the system. I'm not gonna get on the chop shop and complain. Man, I'm gonna run for office. And I'm still trying to find it. I just got too many pictures, Brandon, and it just ain't something. They popped up and I'm mad at myself. But oh, that is. I told you I had it. Brandon Morris. 2024, my team and I are proud and anxious and all of the above to announce that I will be running for the city of Kenosha, Wisconsin mayor. Let me repeat that again. It's Women Rock Wednesday, right? Mamas, this could be your son. Brandon Morris, who showed a video when that stuff happened, when the riots happened in Kenosha, he took his little daughter through the ruins that a day or two after, just to show his daughter the devastation. Buildings burned down. He walked his next generation through it. He let his daughter see it. Unbelievable. This guy, Brandon Morris, I'll forever be indebted to him because he part of our community. He could have went to Kenosha and said, forget it. He watches the chop shop. He don't live in Houston. This one of ours running for mayor. This one of our posse. I told y'all, I'll never forget. Roy Williams. I'm sitting at the Impact Gym watching players with Roy Williams. He had a group of guys with him. And I'm sitting over there. I think Dane Irvin was over there. I think Dane Irvin was in the crew. We sitting there talking, just talking about basketball. And Roy said, this is my posse. So I get to know the posse. One is the president of Pebble Beach. Google it, Pebble Beach Country Club. One of the most famed golf courses on the planet. He the president. Got his number now. This is his posse. President of this bank. CEO, that was his posse. We got to get better posses. Brandon, part of the guy who I'm going to bring on later and talk about financial literacy, part of my crew. We got to get better crews, y'all. Nothing against the old crew. It's just this time right now. I learned a word today, Brandon. I want you to, I put it in my notes. Because I heard some lady just crying, or Mike Pence running his mouth, and some lady crying, that y'all got to find it. She crying, talking about, I don't like a white lady. I don't like the way they're forcing my children to learn critical race theory in school. That's a term. They got a new term, critical race theory. Mike Pence. They finna put it. You're gonna hear about it if you go look at the news today. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's a good one. Clarence, you can make your crew better, but sometimes it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. Hard to teach. Let me tell you something. Find me another. I love when people always bring up, when you talk about a crew, you're talking about LeBron. Find me another one. Find me another one. See, we can't get satisfied with one person doing something. Clarence Harris. We can't. We can't get, they'll give us a Beyonce, but we got a million more Beyoncés out here. Well, I can't put all of them up there. They'll give us Jay-Z, but we got a million more Jay-Z's out there. We got to quit being satisfied with just one example. Give me a local example. Give me another example. Instead of, well, LeBron James. Yes, LeBron James did a great thing. He put his guys in position. He saw that I was LeBron James, and he put his guys, said, man, if y'all want to get down, can't hang with me right now. You got to go up to Nike, and you got to go up to Portland and study up under Nike. Rich Paul, if you want to do this, you got to go study under Leon Rose. Study. A lot of people, man, I ain't got time for that. Man, I want to hang out with you. It's easier than people think. I mean, it's harder than people think to get people to do and repeat that phenomenon that LeBron James did. So I just wanted to address that. And what else I got in my notes before I go? I got something else I want to talk about Women Rock Wednesday. I wish Odyssey was on here today because as the 25th season, I think I told y'all about, I think the WNBA in the next 5 years going to be a viable force in the sporting industry. I predicted that. I mean, ain't nothing prediction. I see the trends. And Odyssey, somebody, ain't nobody want to see them old girls. Them girls look like this. Them girls look like this. Them girls. Let me tell y'all something. As the 25th season approaches, the WNBA agrees to a multi-year partnership with Google. This includes presenting a sponsor of the WNBA on ESPN and collaborating on 25 of 25, which is 25 regular season ABC in ESPN nationally televised games in celebration of the 25th season. Additionally, Google will be associate sponsor for upcoming ESPN film projects, including 30 for 30 franchise. Google also will be the presenting partner of the WNBA playoffs and an associate partner of the WNBA All-Star Game on ESPN and in-season Commissioner's Cup competition. Didn't I come on this show and say that, Doug? I saw the trends. One of the most powerful companies in the world. The number one search engine in the world is saying the WNBA and what you young women did, all 144 of you did over the last year, supporting George Floyd, supporting Breonna Taylor, supporting Ahmaud Arbery, supporting Raphael Warnock, got him elected. These women, this thing is going. Let me tell you something. Odyssey. I'm glad you're here, Odyssey. Odyssey, it's a new day. That's all I can tell you. Odyssey, do me a favor. Look up the Indiana Fever. This is just for Odyssey, and everybody else can look up the Indiana Fever, the women's basketball team, and see who their #1 draft choice is. And tell me how she looked to you, Odyssey. That same girl, a rookie, they didn't wait till she got good, signed a lucrative deal with Adidas. Let me tell you something, Odyssey is different. It's different. These young women, they put Odyssey, the young lady played for the LA team, Sparks, put her billboard all over a building. She was an undrafted free agent that became a star. Odyssey, they wasn't doing this, Odyssey. They doing it now. They doing it now. This WNBA ain't playing. No games at all. So let's understand it now. So in 5 years, y'all just say, okay, I told y'all, I'm watching it. Odyssey, I ain't never watched no women's basketball. I didn't go watch the girls' basketball in high school. So it's Odyssey, that's all right. Ain't but one, hold up, Odyssey. I love that, Odyssey. Odyssey, ain't but one player look like LeBron James, and he carries that league. Ain't but one LeBron James. He carries that league, Odyssey. Odyssey, they need something. I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm glad y'all went and took her. Yes, her name is Kaiser Gondrzak. Used to live here. She grew up here in Houston. Grant Gondrzak's daughter. She'll always be at John Lucas Gym. Wow. But we just got to start opening our mind. And those powerful 144 women, 144 women, man, they changed. Let me tell you something, y'all. Let me go back. Brandon, you might need to, in your campaign, Brandon, up there in the Kenosha, make sure you have some powerful women. Because them women going to follow through. Guys, I ain't got nothing to do. I told you I want to hire the best woman. Because they going to get the job done. They going to see it through. See, me, I told y'all the story. I had got some, they had sent me my suit shipment out of town where I was at. So I had, trying on my suits to make sure they was all right. So I ship them, I get on the plane. We coming back to Houston. So I come back to Houston and I land, and that luggage with my suits is not coming around. And I'm standing there and not coming around. My heart is dropped. And me, I go in there and say, I got a lost package. And then the lady gonna call me and talk about how much was the contents in the package. And I told her, why you got that much in your package? It ain't your damn business how much. Friend of mine said, Rob, happened to be a woman, said, let me handle it. Guess what, y'all? At about 11 o'clock that night, somebody knocked on my door with that package. And she told me, she said, I used to work for Continental. It was back then with Continental. She said, I used to work for them. All they'll do is send your package off somewhere in North Carolina and then they'll sell your stuff off later. Get on it. See, me personally, I would have said, okay, man, I'm good. Them women see stuff through. Brandon, get you some Stacey Abrams on your team. Because those women from the WNBA, let me show you how, in case you haven't been watching this show, let me repeat it again. Those women, Herb Baker, Raphael Warnock was trending at 9% in the governor's race. Kelly Loeffler was about to blow him out the water. These girls met with him and talked with him and supported him in war. That's the first time I ever heard of him. That's when I started sending money to support him. Hold up. Vote Warnock. Changed it. That man won. He's a senator, first black senator in Georgia history. Also, it helped the other Democrat, Jon Ossoff. Jon Ossoff became the first Jewish senator from Georgia. This same Georgia who up into I see you, Chris, up into 1950 didn't allow Jewish to have synagogues in Georgia. It was against the law. Those 144 women, I told you how powerful this WNBA gonna get. They changed the trajectory. Now we got a what? The Senate is 50-50 because of the acts of those women. They got with Stacey Abrams, who is what? A woman. You can be a chauvinist all you want to. I don't care what you are. But the facts, these girls, these women bad. But we're going to be back in a minute. I'm going to bring Chris Walker on in a minute. But Chop Shop, y'all chew on that a minute. Y'all just chew on that a few minutes. And the Chop Shop, we'll be back in a minute. Welcome back, y'all. I cut it because guess what? It's Women Rock Wednesday, right? I'm going to show y'all something when you mess. Chris going to be on after this, but I'm going to show y'all something when you mess with a bad woman, okay? I'm going to show y'all. I did this. This just for Wednesday. I say this for women. This what happen when you mess with a bad black woman.
So just for the record, I don't spend a lot of time watching Fox News or the BS Factory, as CNN's Jim Acosta more colorfully dubbed them this weekend. Personally, I prefer my news and information to be grounded in reality rather than monetizing my amygdala to keep me on edge and buying my pillows in gold. However, according to Media Matters, The Root, Crooks and Liars, and others who watch Fox News so you don't have to, at least 3 times in the last month, well, Tucker Carlson took time off from badgering strangers in parks and bouncy houses to demand that they show him their children's unmasked faces to refer to moi as the race lady. The race lady. Why would they call me that? I mean, I used to run track in high school, but I mean, honestly, I'm not that fast. So what else could it be? What else could it be?
Watch The Race Lady on MSNBC. Harvard educated but totally oppressed. An absurdly racist claim, says the race lady from Harvard. Joy Reid, the race lady over at MSNBC. Here's the race lady from MSNBC finally putting her Harvard degree to work. Oh, wait a second. Harvard educated race lady? Now you're really confusing us. Well, Joy Reid, the race lady over on MSNBC, took a quick break from haranguing Whitey yesterday.
Did he say Whitey? Oh, honey, Tuckums. Is this really about me fixating on race, or is it about you fixating on race? I mean, when you recently went off on me for continuing to mask up post-vaccine while jogging in crowded Central Park, you weirdly, as you did in that montage, threw in my attending Harvard. Now, I don't know, maybe I'm sensitive to this stuff, but it felt kind of like a dog whistle. I mean, did you want to go to Harvard? Did they reject you? And you think, oh, yeah, they let the race lady in. Blah, affirmative action, blah. Well, listen, let me cheer you up, okay? I got into Harvard and, okay.
I'm going to give y'all some more of that later. It's some more of that. Don't mess with no bad black woman. Did y'all hear that dude? The Harvard. The Harvard. You see how many times he mentioned Harvard? Unfreaking believe. And she gonna break it down. Joy Reid. I told y'all about her a long time ago before she got the job. But let me bring in Chris. What's up, Chris? Chris, and I'm glad we were thinking the same way. I remember you asked me, Robert, did you know about Google making a deal with did you know about Google? Of course, man. That thing there, Chris. That Google thing is going to be, Google just don't align themselves with anybody. That's what people don't understand. And they got super deep pockets. So Brandon Morris, back to you. Make sure you get a bad girl like Joy Reid in your corner. Get Mate Cora in your corner. These are some powerful women, because they have to deal with, because they be slicing and dicing these guys on this show, be in there talking all that stuff. They be slicing and dicing these guys. But Chris, what's going on, man? Great time with you yesterday, Chris. And Chris, I appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, this young man right here is the guy who, he had the rope tie and bring me along to be on the Chop Shop. I'll never forget it, because you got to understand, Chris got a little sinister in him. He gonna mess with you. I thought he was bringing me on the air to try to find some dirty little secrets about the sports agency business. He kept asking, come on, Hatter, come on the show, come on the show. There was another show. You had a show called Chris Walker Show then. And he brought me on, I was nervous than a hook in church. I was just nervous. I was nervous, y'all. I'm sorry. But then he said, man, you got to come back. Then, man, you got to come back. Then, man, you got to come back. And then he got the Chop Shop. Hey, man, you got to come. I need you today. And then all of a sudden, man, I got a job. I got to go to Cal. Hold up, y'all. I got to go to Cal and coach this game. They finna give me $1 million a year. They finna give me a meal. I got to go. I said, and just left me and Jimmy here, man. Not that left us, because I know he realized he left it in good hands. But I appreciate you, Chris. I appreciate the people on the show. Our whole team. I appreciate the followers and the listeners. I really, I gave them all of that in the beginning, and you wasn't on, but I really appreciate it, because if it's no them, it's no us. You follow me?
No question.
Yeah. So I just wanted to give you your flowers. A lot of people don't know you. They just some people don't know. That's just this guy coming on the show. No, that's that dude. But what's up? What's up, baby? Talk to me.
I'll tell you this, man. People just don't know how far this thing has come. We got to give props to KYND and Morris Parsons, those guys that believed us, Oscar, those guys that gave us a chance to fine tune our game and sharpen our sword. But to the point where I talked to Hatter yesterday. I'm in a meeting. I just got off a Sirius XM radio interview, the show called Forward Progress with Jason Jackson and Kirk Morrison that played in the league. About my new book that's getting ready to come out. But more importantly, meeting with Sirius XM Radio to the point where we're trying to get the Chop Shop on Sirius XM Radio. So God is blessing us in many ways. People just don't know. We just operate in silence. And what I appreciate is you guys just keeping this thing going and keeping people enthused. And as I talk about in my book called The Elephant in the Room, talking about the stuff that not necessarily the other cultures don't talk about, because don't nobody know it like us. Problem is, in our community, we're afraid to talk about it. That's why things can't get better. You talked a minute ago about, the Senate being 50-50. People don't even realize what was going on in Georgia, what they call a runoff, and why the runoff even became the thing, because of a white politician losing, and he realized that they split the vote, and it's a runoff that a black person never could win. People don't even know where the runoff came from. We got to start educating ourselves, finding out how things work, and we got to find out how to get Abbott out of that governorship and get us a brother in there. How about that? I'm going to leave it at that. but people don't even realize for a African American to win a state race as a senator, I'd love to be on the Chop Shop right now, real quick. If somebody know how many black governors we've had in the United States of America, black governors that weren't the Virgin Islands, that was not part of the Virgin Islands, black governors and black governors. I'd like to know that. And the next question, how many black senators have we had? Senators, not representatives. It's a different place. Black senators have we had. And then once you add those up, then I'll let you know how bad that dude called Barack Obama was. Because y'all don't get it. Because y'all, all that stuff you talk about, Rick, you especially, you one of them, saying Obama didn't do nothing for black people. Yeah. You guys have no idea how politics and government work. Yeah. How hard it is to win a state election, right? And I'm still waiting. I'm looking at the timeline. Ain't nobody answered that question yet. Y'all know everything about AAU. Y'all know everything about the NBA and LeBron. But I asked a question, ain't nobody answered it yet. So I know they Googling real quick.
Preach, Will.
Because you're not gonna find that on social media. Okay? You're not gonna, but they can. Hey, but they know every rap song though and every word to it. Come on, man. 100. Anyway, I'm done with that. JC.
Hey, man. Hey, hold up. Hey, this Chris Walker, man. I didn't even know. Y'all got to. I didn't know I thought he was gonna be on that show all day. I didn't know he was gonna come. Jimmy, it's Women Rock Wednesday. Jimmy, I done been there with the women. Jimmy, Google finna come and bankroll the WNBA now. Jimmy, you remember what I said a few weeks ago? That in 5 years that WNBA is gonna be a viable force in the sports world. Google said, Robert Hatter, we heard you. I'm being facetious. Hey, check this out. The WNBA going to be lined with the #1 search engine in the world. So every time we go to Google, you're going to see some WNBA. It's going to be ridiculous, man. It's going to be ridiculous. But Chris, did anybody answer a question for you?
You see Doug right there. Doug got the answer.
Okay. All I know is I know Douglas Wilder.
Deval Patrick.
Oh, Patrick, you're right. 2 more.
Remember the governor from, I'm talking about winning. Remember the guy, Spitzer, or what's his name? The guy from New York. They threw him out. In the blind. I don't like to say blind.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
He was appointed. He was appointed. So what I'm saying is, and the fourth one escapes me, but people don't realize how hard it is to win an election. A state. Jimmy know about politics. Don't let Jimmy fool you. He know about politics. It's very hard. You see, think about it. To be a mayor in a black city, I don't like to say it's not hard. What Sylvester Turner's done. But you look at all the cities where African Americans dominate, right? Or people of color. Chicago, black mayor. Atlanta, DC, black mayor. DC, black mayor. Houston, black mayor. You know what I'm saying? Right? Illinois, New Orleans had black mayors. The thing is, can you be a governor? Can you be a governor?
Statewide. They call it, Jimmy, they call it statewide.
Detroit, black mayor. Detroit, black mayor. Trump, he pardoned old boy. What's his name? Kilpatrick, whatever his name is. So what I'm saying is, I'm just saying, people gotta understand, it's not that easy. Stacey Abrams, this whole thing with Stacey Abrams, I don't want to hijack the show.
No, hijack the show.
Because she got shafted, right? With that new governor they got over there.
Governor Kemp.
And she said, no more. She said, I'm going to show y'all. And so if she became governor, we might have a problem in the Senate right now. Thank God for the blessings that he don't grant.
Yes.
Okay, guys?
And Chris, let's explain to some people what happened. Governor Brian Kemp. Governor Brian Kemp, that's the governor who had the black lady arrested, the state representative arrested for knocking on his door. I know y'all saw that. Knocking on his door. All she did was knock on the door while they were signing this crazy voting bill, and they had her arrested and threw out of the Capitol. That Brian Kemp was the Secretary of State. The Secretary of State, Dave presides over the election. So he did not resolve his job because he was still running for governor. So he was still the Secretary of State. Chris, got to check this how slick he was. He, purged the road and threw out 350,000 black voters. Purged them off the road. He beat Stacey Abrams by 50,000 votes. But he was a Secretary of State, so he could do that. And that girl said, hell no, you ain't gonna be able to do me. I'm getting ready to register some more. He woke a sleeping giant, and I just wanted to tell you, it's Women Rock Wednesday, Stacey Abrams. That's why, guess what? She's nominated right now, ladies and gentlemen, for the Nobel Peace Prize. Now, Chris, talking about governors. Tell me how many, ain't too many Americans, because this Nobel Peace Prize is a world. Dr. Martin Luther King got it. I think Gandhi got it. This woman has been nominated, Stacey Abrams, for a Nobel Peace Prize. Go Google that. But I just wanted to share that, Chris. What you say, I don't want to hijack the show, but boy, if you hijack it that way, hijack it again.
No, that's again, I talk about politics, and as Jimmy will always attest, you got to be on the right side of politics. Yes. If you want to change laws, you got to change the lawmakers. The only way you can change the lawmakers is by voting.
Chris, say that one more time, Chris. No, they didn't hear that one. Say that one more time.
if you want to change the laws, you got to change the lawmakers.
How do
And
you
the only
change
way
the
you do
lawmakers,
that,
Chris? Chris, how
You
do you
got to
say?
vote. You got to get involved in politics. You got to vote. You got to vote. You got to vote their butts out of office. That's the only way. Otherwise, it's never going to, nothing's going to change. And there's so many things, man. I'll tell people to watch, some of these little shows come on. Have y'all watched Will Smith's new show on Netflix called, I think it's called Amend or something like that. Really good educational thing on the history of this country versus black people and versus women. The oppression and how you've had, the way that people used to view blacks, view women. And you know what's the same? Like I say, we're afraid to talk about that stuff. I don't even get mad at the other culture no more. We're afraid to talk about. We're afraid to argue about it. How about that? People here from the Chop Shop, like me and Jimmy going back and forth yesterday. Even if me and Jimmy and I are disagreeing, you're gonna get knowledge from us disagreeing. The problem is, Jimmy, people are afraid to disagree. They act like we can't disagree on the Chop Shop. We're gonna go drink us a margarita. They
Y'all gonna drink the margarita. Remember, I get a bottle of water. Hey, Chris, I get a bottle of water, Chris, I get a bottle. Man, you need to set that stuff. Man, that's all you be. Man, don't do that, man. It ain't Thursday.
Feliz Navidad.
It's Cinco de Mayo.
That's the wrong holiday.
Okay.
Thank you.
I got you. It ain't Cinco de Mayo in my house.
He's a black magic woman.
Hey, I got a black woman. I ain't got no black magic woman.
Chris, I'm getting a head start on you, baby. I'm waiting on you, Chris. You ain't in Houston yet? You ain't in Houston yet, Chris?
I see you got the plastic cup.
Chris, when you coming to town, Chris? Soon?
Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Saturday.
Everybody, what's going on Saturday? What's going on Saturday? Everybody coming to town.
I got some more in the box for you. I got some more in the box. I'll let you know later on.
Oh, okay.
Say something for me on South Hall. Keep it on. Hey, keep it out there. They don't. Hey, listen. We in the. They don't touch Jimmy crib.
I'm gonna start talking
Jimmy
Spanish
outside
right
with a bow on it.
Yes, indeed.
Oh my God.
Hey man. Oh man. What I missed, boy. Hey, a lot of stuff going on. I know you got to keep motivating, educating. The thing is, the key is, once again, identifying somebody that can go and slide into one of those local offices. Folks don't see it coming if you don't have a track record. They ain't got no way to measure you when you don't have a track record. That's the whole thing. There's so many people that can go and slide into a local office that you don't even see coming. In Houston, we have
What's the young lady name?
The county judge.
Right. The girl that beat the
Lena Hidalgo. Nobody saw her coming, Chris. It was so to the point where her predecessor, he didn't even do a campaign. It was almost like in the movie Rocky, when Apollo Creed didn't even practice for the Russian. He didn't even do a campaign. It was like, man, some little girl didn't never say her name. She knocked him out of office. And you got to find a way. That's an easy way. Otherwise, we're recycling old goods that never got that may have had other people's interests in mind. Obviously, there's no discredit. A lot of people that's in office right now, but there's a lot of people that may not cannot connect with some of the new boots on the ground or the new boots that are coming up. That's the key. Getting some of them young brains and get them motivated, because a lot of them don't really know how to think about it. Politics is the one game in the world that's to be sold and not told about. You can go and read every history book you want. You can go and you can go and major in politics. It's still going to be so much that you would not know about how to get your ass in that dough and understand and navigate through there. That's the thing. Getting somebody in there and open the door. Just like another person nobody saw coming. Nobody saw Marcus's brother that went to Cashmere. What's his name? The big fella, Davis. Marcus from the Breakfast Club. His brother is in the city council right now. Nobody saw him coming. Nobody saw him coming. when he first ran for city council. I mean, I'm saying, no, they were like, well, that's the Breakfast Club. Okay, he got in there, doors open, and for that side of the fence, whoever's in the line with him. That's the thing. Who's the next young person that can be identified to push over in that direction? Hey man,
Jim, as long I know it's Women Rock Wednesday, shall I say? As long as we not endorsing people like Candace Owens. I know that's Hatters homegirl, but Jesus Christ, we got to make sure we got to mute those type of voices. And I know Hatter, that's his girl though, but I'm gonna leave it alone though. Because Hatter like hearing both sides of the coin.
Of course, I want to hear. I do. I like.
Hey, you know what, Chris? When we was at the 2 radio stations ago, we was at the 102.5 FM. One of a guy that was very popular in Houston, very popular, and he was as we were leaving that station for the 102.1 FM. They were getting ready to start a radio show in the mornings, and ended up scrapping the whole idea. But he ran for council, and he only lost by like a couple of hundred votes. This was Scarface.
Oh yeah,
Brad Jordan. Yeah. And Brad Jordan, and so what he did, he shed the term Scarface. He wanted to be known as Brad Jordan. And Brad Jordan, a lot of people didn't know Brad Jordan was, but he only lost by a couple hundred votes. And it just goes to show, and he really didn't do a widespread campaign because he was, at the time, he was just on the beginning stage of getting ill. He wasn't known to be ill then. But I know we saw Brad, me and Hatter a few times. He had already changed. Like he wasn't eating no meat at the time. I think he was juicing. Every time we see him come in the studio, we're leaving out. He's coming in, and they're having meetings. He got the cup of the green stuff, but Brad had some stuff, and Willie D ran for office.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, Willie D bailed on out, but Brad had a realistic chance of winning.
It was a runoff.
And he lost by a couple hundred votes. That's it.
And to your point, Jimmy, it's one man, one vote. Like somebody told me, you remember Peter Swelltown? He was in politics. He made a great point. I know everybody want to talk about sports. Is that no matter who you are, the only thing that matters is who show up on election day and vote. You can have all the money, you can have all you want, but if your people don't show up on election day and vote, you lose. It's all about turnout. That's why you hear people say all the time, turnout. Whoever shows up and votes for you, and you have the most votes, you win. That's how it works, right, Jimmy? That's how it works. When we talk about it, hey man, why won't they get all those 18-year-old kids at TSU and all those high schools? If they go get those kids to vote, it's just like everybody else voting. They don't care about age. It's who shows up and vote. Now imagine if everybody got every 18-year-old in high school in the city of Houston and get them to go out and vote if in the right precincts. Come on, man. You can win.
Hey, man. Hey, we almost put Chris in that thing. He ran from that. Chris didn't want to follow the script. We had a script for Chris to run for city council. Chris said, hell, I want to be governor.
Dude, if Chris come in here and said we want to get that done, man, it's done deal records, man. He already got the best campaign manager in the business.
I'm coming back.
Robert Hatter, so he good. He good. We're going to talk about Chris.
Hey, man, what's going on with Deshaun Watson, man? Who's going to be the quarterback of the Texans? No, seriously, who's going to be the quarterback?
What do you mean? We got Tyrod Taylor. What do you mean?
Who?
The starting quarterback from the San Diego Chargers from 2 years ago.
Hip hop girl Taylor? Who?
Dude, the starting quarterback from the Chargers 2 years ago. That's who we got.
Man, please. Man, please.
What do you mean?
Get him on the chop shop. Get him on the chop shop, please.
What do you mean? You think he's garbage? He hadn't played last year.
Hot garbage.
No. He's a middle of the road quarterback, and he's not horrible, and he's deserving of a chance. But from what happened to him when Data won, them doctors punctured his lung. He deserved another chance. And guess what? a chance at a team that don't have no expectations whatsoever this season as far as postseason aspirations. Guess what? So this is the perfect opportunity for a guy like him, a brother him.
I disagree. I don't like him. I don't think he's any good. I just don't think he's any good.
Based on what?
I'm not y'all remember yesterday? I just let y'all talk. I'm just gonna let y'all talk. Keep going.
No, I mean, do you represent him or something? Like,
no, I didn't say nothing about Tyrod Taylor. I mean, you got to realize the Houston Texans franchise, Jimmy, I don't support them, right? I just don't support them. So I just rather not say, my mama said if I ain't got nothing good to say, I just rather not talk about the Houston Texans right now. And I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you, not to just say I'm so hard. I picked out some other day. I just wanted y'all to hear. What's the guy name? McNair. He said something the other day, and I probably didn't even put it. He said something. He was at a thing the other day talking about he can't wait till they fill the place up. He can't wait till they fill the place up. Chris, I can't wait till we can. Dude, he ain't. Oh, here it is. I got something for y'all. This is why I don't like Houston, Texas. Right.
That's our hope. Yeah.
When do you think that needs to be decided?
Well, we're selling tickets now, so hopefully we're going as if it's going to be a full stadium, and we're looking forward to having our fans in there, having all the excitement of the games that the fans come to enjoy, both before the game and during the game. So we're looking forward to that.
How big is that to be able, if y'all are allowed to do just that?
It's big. It's big for us, for the team, for the city. It's really big.
I ain't saying that. I just had to play that.
Okay, Adam, you've been to several Houston Texans games.
Yes.
And this is football now.
Yes.
The vast majority of those season ticket holders are of what hue?
I understand. I'm just saying I don't support them. That's all I said. I ain't telling nobody else.
They have their own fraternity. They got their own tribe. But they gonna support their own tribe and their own fraternity.
Understand that. I'm saying I'm not part of their tribe, so I can only talk about my point of view.
But they're not even seeking for you to be part of their tribe.
Okay. Well, they're seeking. Hold up. They're seeking for me. Hold up. They got a black quarterback. They got 70% of their players, but they ain't seeking.
Exactly.
They're not seeking for you to be part of their tribe. They're seeking more of them to be part of their tribe. And understand, one thing that kept it lit was the Hispanic, the Latino culture spent plenty of money as far as product and merchandise with the Houston Texans. In every Hispanic neighborhood in Houston, you go over through, you see every bar, they got it painted, they wearing on Sundays, they repping they Texans gear.
I've learned. Fan is the root word for fanatic. I know that. I'm very versed in that. And I just understand some fans just so damn stupid. They're going to spend their money on anything. And I understand that. Believe you me, I understand that. I said I'm sitting up here saying, even Chris said, Tyrod Taylor, that's what you're going to come into the season with? And they draft some little dude. I forgot his name.
Okay, I got one. You name a quarterback that could come for the Texans right now that's available, then they're a playoff team. Who?
None. I don't care.
Okay. So thank you. Think what you're saying.
But you said they're trying to brag about Tyrod Taylor.
Okay, but no, I'm talking about for him and the opportunity and the chance of redemption for him, based on what happened to him being injured. This opportunity for him, not opportunity for him to take the Texans to the promised land. No, an opportunity to see this young man get back on in the good graces
Jimmy,
of his career.
I'm going to end it with this, Jimmy. Some people just love mediocrity, and I understand that. I'm just all that was. So tell me this. I'm just not one. That's all I'm saying. Chris Walker, you cared not what the Houston Texans did when they did have all pro players in uniform. You cared not. So why do you care now? I like Deshaun Watson.
I like Deshaun.
I like Andre Johnson.
Guess what? Deshaun Watson will be playing somewhere in another year. Maybe not this season, but in 2 years he'll be. That's 1 year less off of wear and tear off of him. He'll be playing somewhere in 2022.
So you're saying he won't be on the sidelines with the Texans this year?
I say he won't be taking a snap with them past one game. Past one game.
We'll
won't be taking a snap with him. On the sideline, that's a different thing because he could be on there.
So he's not going to be in uniform?
He could be in uniform, but won't be playing. Sometimes
what if
somebody
get hurt then? What if Tyrod Taylor get hurt?
They got a second string quarterback. He's not going to play with the Texans, man. He's not going to play with the Texans. The damage is done.
Oh no.
The damage is done.
Well,
I feel you.
But anyway. I mean, we all right. We are. Hey, y'all can talk about it.
Listen, the Texans could have hired Bieniemy, man. They could have hired my frat brother. I was done when they didn't hire him.
I don't think he wanted that job. I don't think.
Well, guess what? A couple of other teams could have hired him as well.
Yeah,
no,
I don't think he wanted that job though. I ain't gonna.
I think he wanted any job that would have made him the head coach.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't. I don't think so.
Talked about Silas yesterday. I'm saying I think he wanted to be a head coach, and Houston a bad place.
He's not Silas don't have the resume as Eric Bieniemy. That's not. No, he don't have that. He can be in. You can be in the league 100 a year. Eric Bieniemy transferring one of the most a generational talent into one of the face of the league.
You would never know that, Haller. You would never know it because he don't get no credit for it. Andy Reid get all the credit. You would never know it.
But guess what? Chris. It's two structures out here. Social structure, how they feel about us, and the governance structure is how we feel about each other. We can't stop them from feeling the way they feel about Eric Bieniemy. We feel great about Eric Bieniemy. I think he's one of the greatest offensive minds in the business. And guess what? And I'm not the only one. But guess what? But guess what happens? I don't own a team. You don't own a team, and Jimmy don't own a team. So
let me ask you a question because I know his brother on the chop shop. Why is he getting passed over? Because, like Jimmy said, it's not just the Houston Tech. There's a lot of teams in the last 2 years that have passed on.
Yeah.
Why? Because dudes that have far less success. Far less success. Dudes that have far less success get jobs.
Chris.
Why?
Because they don't. The owners who own the teams, which all of them are they're comfortable. Chris.
I'm just asking. I mean, I like to know.
They don't want. I mean, I think it's ignorant because I think, like I said again, one of the most unique offensive minds in the game of football. This comes from some high up people telling me this. Eric Bieniemy. I didn't need them to tell me this, but they told me. Right. And he can't get a job. But guess what? I don't blame him. I will look for the right opportunity. And Chris, sometimes just to be a head coach, like when your guy get fired, when Silas get fired, he might not never get a job. If they would fire Nate McMillan and he was winning, what you think they finna do? So
I get you. I'm just saying there's a lot of teams have passed on them, not just the Texans. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying. Why is that? If he's a great offensive, I'm just saying, here's the thing. Let me make this point. Let me make this point. When Andy Reid was in Philadelphia, right? Uh-huh. Everybody say he couldn't win. He couldn't win the big one. He couldn't get over it.
Right.
He gets to Kansas City, and now they had Alex, whatever his name is, that ended up getting his leg broken with the Washington football team. They got rid of him. Alex Smith, and then they brought in Patrick Mahomes, who sat out a year, right? All of a sudden, when you hear them talk about Andy Reid, anytime you watch in these other games, they talk about Josh McDaniels. They never talk about him as far as they don't talk about Belichick as far as offense. When you talk about Tom Brady and Josh McDaniel, they talk about Josh McDaniel. Yeah. You look at some of these other places.
Peterson got a job. Peterson was the
Who?
Peterson, the Doug Peterson, he was working under Andy Reid, and he went and got a head coach job. Frank Wright, who was ranking a lot of these guys.
Now you're making my point for me. This guy, Eric Bieniemy, has done way more than any of them put together. So why is he not a head coach?
Chris, if you or I was an owner, if I was an owner, that's the first person I would have talked to. I would have told everybody, I'm waiting till the Super Bowl over. I'm talking to Eric Bieniemy. And all the rest of y'all gonna have to wait. That's what I would have said. But guess what? Robert Haddon don't own the team. That's the best way I can put it to you, Chris. And then, Chris, I'm seeing some of these comments. You know what I learned? I learned something, y'all. You can't teach a person something that they believe they already know. And I'm going to leave that there. But I'm going to leave that there. No matter what you say to them, if they had believe that dumb shit, you can't teach them. So it's a lot of that going on out here. But Eric Bieniemy, I think he's going to get his shot. It's just that I don't know. Chris, I can't tell you the reason. It's just perplexing everybody.
But it also speaks to what we were talking about the other day, and I don't want to go back to that. I know Jimmy probably got some stuff you want to get into, is that the players don't demand it. And that's why I was saying before, like, the players don't demand it. They know what they demand? We want to smoke weed. Let's stop drug testing. They demand that. They demand that happen.
Yes.
Right, Jimmy?
Yes. We don't want to take what's that going on? I'm just saying they demand that. Hey, Chris, I'm glad you said that. I said this, and I got it from Alan Branch. It seems as the price tag on what's valuable has been changed. It's like, I'm going to give you an example. People are valuing things that are not, you just said they're valuing weed over a black man being in power and be able to determine the destiny of a team. They value weed. So it seemed like somebody that went in Neiman's, whatever store, and switched the price tags on what's valuable. And just watch what's going on in life. People value stuff that you just didn't value. And that's what has happened. I sit there and I advise everybody. I saw something the other day called the high flying bird. Have anybody heard of the high flying bird on Netflix? Unbelievable, Chris Walker. Go take a look at it. The guy, Steven Soderbergh, filmed this movie with an iPhone 7 camera. I'm going to repeat that. He filmed this movie, High Flying Bird. Google it, y'all. Y'all gonna know what I'm talking about. The young guy who played Man Boy in Snowfall, I know y'all watched. He is the young athlete in the movie. Okay? He's a young athlete in the movie. And Chris, guess what happened? NBA lockout. He was drafted, NBA lockout. So guess what?
I saw that movie. I saw it.
And I'm sitting there. It's a lot of things he valued. That's wasn't valuable no more. I mean, but guess what I got? A lot of people tell me it wasn't a good movie. It was a slow movie. But guess what I got out of it, Chris? So when the NBA was on a lockout, y'all, him and one of his rivals on his team, they don't like each other. They're young. They came into a gym and they had a one-on-one against each other, and it went viral, and they got popular. So Netflix, Hulu reached out to him, and the NBA was saying, man, you can't do that. The agent saying you can't do that because these guys, y'all using NBA stuff. And guess what? They said, okay. What's what we going to do? We're going to start our own 3-on-3 league. This is what the NBA players, we're going to start our own 3-on-3 league. We're going to start our own. Jimmy, they was popping up 3-on-3 leagues. They were popping up because guess what? They realized the power that they had. Chris, you just said the players don't realize the power that they don't have. Chris, when that got to happen in that NBA, say, whoa. Let's negotiate.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely.
I mean, it's just, I mean, that's what had to happen, Chris. Because
but that's my thing with these players. My last thing I'll say is,
it's all right.
and I met with an entertainment company this morning about original content. And if you're afraid to put your ideas out there, then guess what ideas you're gonna hear? Everybody else's. You can't be afraid, just like Jimmy, you and had it with the Chop Shop. Y'all can't be afraid to do the Chop Shop because nobody else is gonna do it. No one else is gonna do it. And anyway, I digress, Jimmy. What's up?
Oh man, I'm
everybody
looking.
got mad at me,
and
Jimmy. Everybody got mad at me talking about that kid yesterday. I got all kind of blowback.
Which kid?
The number 3 kid. Everybody chopped me up for that.
Say, don't mess with Texas, boss. Especially
Texas.
while the Astros and the Yankees in the series right now. You in New York. Hey, Yankee, don't mess with Texas. That's what happens. Mount up. But I see Troy Bieniemy. He's related to Eric Bieniemy, and
yes.
he says he wish he can get into details. He says, "What's the number for me to call in so I can get some of you guys to on the right track of understanding?" And guess what? I don't have a problem with that. If Troy Bieniemy wants to talk about his kinfolk, then guess what? We're going to give you the number to call in on the hotline. And here we go. Let me see. Let me type it in for you right now, Mr. Bieniemy. And if you have, because that way, guess what?
Chris, I missed it. I'm sorry. While Jimmy talking, Chris, I missed it. What happened? They talking about you don't mess with Texas. What happened?
But the number 3 kid, they got mad at me because I was talking about him.
Chris, let me tell you something. I totally agree with you. I didn't say nothing yesterday, but I went and thought about it. We need to do a little bit more of that. Not to hurt the kid, but let me tell y'all something, man. Why are we still, y'all explain it to me. Why are we still out here playing? In other words, why do we allow, let's have a grade check. Why are we allowing our kids to constantly play without having grades? Parents, I'm just sorry. I want to do a grade check. Why are we allowing? I'm not blaming no one person. Yes, I am. I'm blaming the parents. Let's have a grade check. If your kid is not cutting the mustard academically, why are they still allowing them to play sports?
As Jimmy said, you stepping on an ant bed, Hatter. You better be careful.
I don't care.
Tell Jimmy to do his rankings based on grades too. Like do like a composite.
No, it ain't Jimmy fault. Jimmy don't live at the house. Jimmy ain't put no book in it. Jimmy ain't took a book. I put a book in his hand. Why are we celebrating this stuff? That parents, I'm talking to y'all. Maybe y'all got a reason. Maybe y'all got a reason. And I'm looking for a solution. If you go, do me a favor, parents. Before you talk about Ant Bed, go back and look at the beginning of the show. Okay? Then come back to this. But why are we allowing this? That's all. I want to ask. Maybe y'all hold up, y'all. Chris, maybe these parents got some great insight of this thing. They might have some for us that can help us. Maybe they got a secret. Chris,
what's that secret?
Think about this show. And this is what I told at the beginning of the show. I said, in this show, Chris, I said, you, Jim, and I sit at one of the messiest intersections in life, in the world. That intersection of race, culture, summer basketball, education, all these issues colliding together, Chris, making a big mess. Now we got to sit down and talk about it. That's what we're doing now. We got to build about it. We got to focus on it. We got to come up with solutions, Chris. We got to dust off our hands, Chris, and get back to work.
So why is it when Jimmy does what you do, Jimmy? What's the thing that you used to do, Jimmy? We can't get parents to show up for it. What was it called, Jimmy? So tell everybody just so they know, because I was around then, and it would befuddle me. I'd be like, hold on, here is a dude not charging you one dime, bringing coaches in to show y'all what's going on. You trying to get cost-free education. If we got these spring icebreakers, we'll get 5,000 parents in there paying $20 a pop to come in. No problem. Jimmy Hicks does what he does, and Jimmy, you can tell him what you used to do, because a lot of new people would know anything about that because you haven't done it in years, because people just don't support it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the parent workshop. And that was a couple of years back, over a decade ago. Then we stopped in 2007. But
I don't blame you for stopping.
And this topic, we're getting up in there because that's a good question and a good topic. And I haven't gave my take on it yet. I want to pause though, because we have
Eric on the phone.
We have joining us.
I mean Troy.
We have Troy Bieniemy, and he has something to share with you guys. Okay. That way, some people, because they had all different types of comments going on in regarding to Eric Bieniemy and why he hasn't, why he isn't a head coach right now. Put it like that. Mm-hmm. So we are with us on the Chop Shop. What's going on, Troy Bieniemy?
What's up, big fella?
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the Chop Shop. Of course, you got Robin Haller, Chris Walker, myself, Jim Hicks. Tell them what's your relation to Eric Bieniemy, first of all.
What's happening, fellas?
All right, now this is what you got to do. Turn your volume down on your device. Only listen on the telephone on your telephone, because it's a delay. Right. Okay. So now we'll state your name and your relation to Eric Bieniemy.
All right. My full name, of course, is Troy Michael Bieniemy. Not that I'm an important dude, but Eric is my oldest brother.
Okay.
Turn it up a little bit more.
Turn it up a little bit, Jimmy.
Okay. I didn't know you needed. Okay.
Yeah, I need some body. Okay.
There we go. Now, can you hear? Of course, he just said, guys, this is Troy Bieniemy, the brother of Eric Bieniemy, and you saw something on the timeline. You wanted to speak on some things. Yeah. Why isn't Eric Bieniemy a head coach in the NFL right now?
He can't do it.
All right. Let me say this. Eric does something that he enjoys. So listen, he can coach football. Mm-hmm. He's one of the few people that I know that knew what he wanted to do since he was 6 years old. Right? Play football, coach football, be in the business. So by no means is he a victim, complaining, or going to ever say something in public about the hierarchy in NFL ownership. He'll never say anything public. Because, of course, those people employ him. Well, they don't employ me. So I can say and speak my truth. You have to think about the psychology of NFL owners and who they are, for the most part. Most NFL owners are rich guys. Most of them have been rich all of their lives. There are a few of them who are self-made, became rich maybe in the last 15 to 20 years. But for the most part, they're all rich white men who spent their lives on golf courses and boardrooms. And in those boardrooms, for the most part, have been mostly other white men. So you think about the people that they come in contact with that are people of color. Most of the people they come in contact with that are people of color are the people who clean the room, who serve them food, who might be a caddy for them on their golf course. So psychologically, they see people of color and they associate them with being a worker. You can work for me. I'll treat you nice. I'll tip you well. You can work for me, right? You can be a worker. Understand? And I'm telling you, I'm not saying it's a slave mentality, a slave owner type mentality, but that's the psychological bias that I'm speaking of. So an NFL player, he's a great guy. He did well in school. We've had any trouble with him off the field, so I don't mind cutting him a check and paying him for being one of the top 5 players in this position. This is the NFL owner psyche I'm talking about. But a guy who can actually be the face of my franchise, I don't view him that way. He's a good guy. He can work for us. He can be a position coach, or he could be one of my top players, but he can't be the guy that's at the podium every week in front of an audience every week and have millions of viewers, because you know what? Here's one thing that came out of one of Eric's interviews. He's too honest. He's too straightforward. He's not a kid, right? I don't know if I can play around the golf with him. That's one of the things that came out of the interview. One franchise said, he said, I want complete control over my staff. So, and I want 5 years. Okay, we know in the NFL that could possibly be unlikely that you'll get a full 5 years. In this business is right now. There are head coaches of color, a few in the NFL, that do not have, maybe 1 or 2 that have had head coach positions that were allowed to hire their people. The Texans is not one of them. The guy calling the shots for the Texans is not a football guy. That guy was ran out of New England. They had enough of it. Phil Belichick said, this dude just got to go. But, of course, they've been trying to turn the Texans into the Patriots South for the last, 10 years?
10 years.
And it hasn't worked.
Yes.
It hasn't worked the way that they wanted.
Right.
So, in interviews, the rumor was, after getting an interview well, that was squashed. Or the next interview, one guy would say, well, you know what? He had some trouble when he was in college, and he had a few things. Well, who didn't? Who didn't make a mistake or two in college? Who did? I just think about, there is a standard that coaches of color have to meet. Unfortunately, we didn't create it. It's just the way it is. And let's just take a look at the coach who Detroit just hired. Did you hear his press conference?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Keep going.
And what coordinator was he?
To get up there and have a press conference like that. He'd be out of the building within an hour. He'd be on the next thing smoking.
Yes.
So there's this narrative that Eric Bieniemy is not that much involved in play calling, and he is the game plan. It's him. Blocking scheme. It's him. The dude in Patrick Mahomes' ear. It's him. And he ain't going to get on TV and say that, look, man, that's me doing this. That's just not his personality. Again, he's paid 7 figures to call plays and to work with a future Hall of Famer. So he doesn't have anything to complain about.
That's right.
But to understand how NFL hiring goes and the psyche of these owners, you have to think about who they are and where they come from and how they see it. They don't relate. For instance, just an example. The owner of the Carolina Panthers, he hired Matt Rule, a good dude, had success. He made Temple a winner, and he made Baylor a winner. But the first thing he said about Matt Rule is, man, that dude reminded me of me when I was his age. But there's no way Eric Bieniemy is going to remind him of him. Because Eric Bieniemy is straightforward. He's going to look you in the eye and tell you the truth. He ain't going to sunshine it up and say, oh, yes, sir, no, sir. He's going to tell you the truth. Well, he's going to remind the Carolina Panthers owner of him when he was young. So that right there was probably one of the most telling, I guess, lines I got of all of the interviews that he's had over the couple of years. And he actually has said the thing that has probably kept Eric out of interviews. That, because when they see most black coaches, they see you as the guy who could be the running back coach, the wide receivers coach, maybe a defensive coordinator. But this nonsense of him not being involved in Patrick Mahomes or calling the plays is nonsense, because the Andy Reid last 3 offensive coordinators didn't call the plays, but they all received a chance to become a head coach in the NFL. But again, he's not complaining, and he ain't going to get on TV and say anything bad about anybody, because he makes a nice living doing what he's doing. But the idea You know, just everything is on the up and up, and the NFL is just chance for everybody. It is on the field, but until we get people like you guys that are billionaires that can actually buy into a majority stake of an NFL team, I don't see it changing in the very near future or anytime soon. It's just the way it is.
Now, lastly, we want to ask you. You mentioned that we were talking about the Houston Texans, and you posted on our feed earlier that your brother Eric Bieniemy was not going to take that job. Elaborate.
The guy, his name is Jack Easterby. You can look it up. That guy basically is calling the shots for the Texans right now. He has no idea, no clue about football. He was actually the team chaplain for the Patriots, who at one time was in good with Tom Brady. That's how he rose up in the ranks with the Patriots. Nobody else in the NFL would give that guy a job. The kind of job he has now. Jimmy, that's like me going to apply to be the AD at Texas Southern. I have no administration skills or I've never served in a role like that ever in my life. But if I can get close to the star quarterback of the team and you all of a sudden can get qualified for a position like that, that's the guy that's making the decisions for the Texans right now. That dude right there. He was not going to allow him to hire his own staff. They wanted final say over who could be his offensive coordinator, who could be his defensive coordinator. He wanted final say. I don't think that team, the way it's constructed right now, all the way from the owner, the scouting department, all the way down to the janitor, they aren't going to win anything anytime soon.
So you think that's not on purpose? If you place guys in the role that they're unqualified for, then do you think that some of that or most of that was done on purpose, or just because these are my boys, which would be on purpose?
Of course, it's a little bit of both. It's a guy that is grateful to be in that position because he knows. Yeah, it's a guy that's grateful to be in that position because he knows he can't get a job like that anywhere else. So you got the owner who inherited, he was a small brat, basically never really worked or had a job before, who said, oh, you know what? I can hire that dude. That dude will do whatever I tell him to do. You know what? He worked for the Patriots and Bill Belichick, so he must know something. And plus, you know what? I know I ain't got to worry about it. I'm going to look over my back. Anybody trying to fight me for power. So you can put a guy like that, and he'll do exactly what you want him to do, how you want him to do it, because he's grateful to be in that position. And you know he won't get a job like that anywhere else. Only the Texans would hire a dude like that to be in a position like that.
Yeah.
There's no way Eric was going to work for them dudes. No way.
Chris Hatter?
No, I'm good. Thank you, Troy.
No, that's big time, Troy.
Troy, thank you for sitting up here, Chris. I was mentioning Jack Easterby's name, and people were looking at me like didn't know what the hell I was talking about. I mentioned his name several thousand times on this show. Andre Johnson, who haven't tweeted since 2019. That's the only name he mentioned in a tweet. In 3 years, he said Jack Easterby is the damn problem with Deshaun Watson. And but thank you for coming on and confirming that. And I mean, it can happen, y'all. Y'all got to realize, Jack Easterby. If you remember, Troy, Jack Easterby was at that party up in New England at Bob Kraft's house when he tried to introduce the new Costeros to Bob McNabb to hire. They was trying to steal the guy who's the GM now. They was trying to steal him from the and then it got in trouble. That was Jack Easterby,
Yeah.
part of that mess,
Yeah,
right?
it was him.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so when he come to Houston, and I found out, you got to understand. You said it plain, and a lot of people don't understand this because your brother knowing this. These billionaires, this dude a trust fund baby. He ain't never had to work, Cal. So he was kind of groupie. He liked the players. So Jack Easterby was. Remember now, Troy. Jack Easterby was what? The supposed chaplain of the team. So
Exactly.
it was a
Exactly.
supposed spiritual connection between when the man's daddy died, when Bob McNair died, he helped Cal
Right.
through the spiritual process of that. So of course he gonna trust
Right.
him. You follow me? So it just I'm just glad you came on and confirmed that. It's just a lot of moving pieces. And I remember you saying you posted on this page a year ago. That's he's not going to want that job. You said, because I was talking about it, you said, no, he's not going to want that job. And then when I studied the draft pick situations and it was just a job for failure, I said, no, Eric Bieniemy got too much clout. I told Chris earlier, he's some people was telling me, and I think so too, the most brilliant offensive mind in the game right now. Very innovative. But guess what? Andy Reid, but this is what I love, and I want my people on the Chop Shop to understand. The man making a 7 figures right now, doing what he want to do. So he ain't gonna ruffle no feathers. If you was making over $1 million, doing something you love to do, you gonna just sit back and chill until your time comes. I don't know if he think about that. That's the way he think, but that's the way I would be thinking, Troy.
Well, the NFL's a year-to-year thing. So
Yeah,
1 year at a time.
that's right. My man, I'm good.
Thanks a bunch, Troy, man, for clearing it up and
Thanks, Troy.
adding a lot of understanding into this equation, man. Thanks so much. That's how we do it on Chop Shop. That's Troy Bieniemy, and we definitely wish you well. And because I know daily he has to endure, well, not a day, but during football season, that question pops up every time Kansas City wins a game.
And guess what?
Every time. During each game, that's going to be a camera that's going to beam in on him, and it's going to come up. So that
you know what made me feel better? The man making 6 figures doing something he love to do. How many people can say that on this planet? Not many. Excuse me. I'm sorry. 7 figures doing what he loved to do, Chris Walker. And we around here worry about whether he get a job or not.
We still need to work. I agree with you, but the bottom line is he deserves to be a head coach. I'm not saying
we ain't said about what you deserve. We ain't said about what you deserve. Right.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying that at the end of the day, man, like he should be rewarded for his work, and it's just. And I'm not saying his time will come whenever that time comes.
Yes.
But how do we say all the time? Promotion don't come from man. So what are we talking about?
Yeah.
The time gonna come.
Yes. That's what I'm talking. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Chris. I can't control that. I'm not an owner. Remember I told you I'm not an owner. If I was an owner, he'd be my. Guess what? He'd be my head coach right now. So, but that's awesome, man. Thank you, Troy, so much, man. So, what else we got, Jimmy? Jimmy, what I'm gonna do? Jimmy, I had a financial guy. Oh man, people need to hear this, and we probably just push it back to tomorrow because I don't want him to be shortchanged. But Marcellus Upshaw, tomorrow we got to make sure, Chris, and I want you to be here for it, talking about how estate planning and wealth and just understanding how these things, he is the one that's trying to keep this from happening, how athletes go broke. And we're going to bring him on. We'll bring him tomorrow because he was supposed to come on at 1:30. And I just told him this is that topic was too hot. But make sure y'all tune in tomorrow. We're gonna bring him by tomorrow. But now, what else you got, Jimmy? Because I know we got a lot of stuff to get in these 21 minutes.
First, we have to remind you guys to share the show.
Yes.
You simply, if you're on the Facebook feed, you simply go over and hit the share button at the bottom of the screen. Share it you can hit the share button, and then you can share it to your to your page, and also you can share it to your groups. Only the groups that are public groups. Don't share it to a group that's private. That's not, that's invading their their restrictions. But share the show right now. Let's get this thing popping, because now we're going to go back to the question and the topic that's at hand. That's a very intriguing topic, because I'm curious to know the why. And the whys is as to why are there so many middle and high school student athletes playing grassroots basketball on a weekly basis at events when it's knowing that they are failing academically? Why? That's the magic question of this hour right now. Why?
Well, we definitely need your take. So won't you go dig in, because you're the authority. So you dig, and then me and Hatter and I follow up.
Yeah.
Well, I think one why could be is there's a lure that if your kid play in this particular event, then magically he's going to get exposure. That exposure will lead to him playing in college for free. Now we're talking about 7th graders, we're talking about 8th graders, we're talking about 9th graders, but the lure of him missing out, if he misses out, this is the person of influence that's convincing the parent, for those that need to be convinced, to let that baby come on and play. Let him come on. He don't want to miss his opportunity. Now, that sale can be the smoking gun to influence that parent to let their kid go. Then there's other parents, it's not even for discussion. So the why dwells in that particular conversation. Another why can be there's a lot of parents that just don't check their kids' grades.
Come on, Jimmy, that's not. So you saying they send them to school every day, they give them lunch money, they go work a job so they can have shoes, right? So they can have clothes that they want to wear, and then the only metric of the reason why they're going is the grades. They don't even check them.
I'm like that little frog with my drink in my hand right now.
So it's free babysitting then. Because you don't pay to go to public school, so it's free babysitting.
Daddy daycare for most people, for many people. This stuff is serious. I mean, it's one of those things and it happens all the time. And I'm gonna give you another
Those some terrible reasons, though, Jimmy. I hope these parents ain't that. I mean, God, I know that's what you're saying. I want to hear from a parent. I want to hear from a parent who's allowed their son to do it.
I'll give you some more.
Some of them on this timeline.
I got a question, Chris. Whenever you see that young and a man up in New York, ask him what was the criteria for him to play basketball.
Oh, I already know.
Couldn't make a beat. You had to make straight A's.
But Hatter, answer this question, and Jimmy, you can jump in.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it? That's why I wrote a book called The Elephant in Our Room, not in their room. It's in our room. Why is it? And I say a lot of it's based on poverty, but we all ain't poor.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Now we poor mentally.
That's right.
Mentality-wise, we poor.
Mm-hmm.
But some of us actually got a couple dollars in the bank.
Yeah.
And actually know the difference between a stock and a bond, right?
Yep.
Why is that we allow the media and society to tell us that our kids, the minute they can run a 4.5 40, and they can dunk a basketball, that is the only thing that is deemed as successful when you look like us? Seriously, I'm real.
That's it. That's it. That's a good one there, Chris.
Because that's the problem. Look at social media. All you gotta do is look at social media. That's who their heroes are. Now you go, and again, I don't want people to say, "Oh, they dating himself." You go back to when I was just in D.C. at the Martin Luther King Memorial. You go back in those times, you know who the heroes were? Guys like Martin Luther King. You know why? Because we were fighting for something because they wouldn't let us have something. The minute they let Jackie Robinson cross that color line, a whole lot of activism left us. I'm just telling you. A whole lot of activism left us. So my thing is, why is it that black people, I hate saying this, that we don't value education? We don't think it's a bridge that leads to
Chris.
We don't. Well, I'm listening.
No absolutes. I mean, you said black.
I agree
people.
with that.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
So I mean, you can just say some of us, like
No,
Jimmy.
most of us, not some, most. In the world we're talking about, the messy world, Jimmy.
Oh, okay. In the messy, in that messy intersection. Okay. I got you. Okay. All right.
Jimmy,
Okay.
in the messy world we talking about, Jimmy.
Okay, I got you.
How many of them people in the gym actually talking about academics and care about what's going on? Or
Good
if
point.
you look at Jimmy's rankings, you get past the top 40.
Okay.
Most of those kids, right, if they were smart, they would know by their junior year they're probably not going to be recruited, and they would bone up academically because there's far more money that is accessible to people academically than it is athletically in this country. Far more grants, youth scholarships. You got a better chance of getting that than an athletic scholarship.
Hello.
But unfortunately, these summer coaches, these sorry ass summer coaches, and these parents, they let these kids go freshman year. Oh, don't worry about it. Sophomore year. Jimmy know where I'm going. Don't worry about it. Junior year after the season's over. Oh man, we got a problem. We got to start getting better in school. Man, you done wasted 3 years. When you going to school now? Because it's not the focus in the 9th grade. I'm telling you. Because the focus in the 9th grade is I'm going to get a scholarship. How the hell you know in the 9th grade you're going to get a scholarship? Playing basketball or football or baseball. You don't know. That's the problem. But that's because education is not at the forefront. If education was at the forefront, we'd have more Robert Hatter people out there.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
We would have more Robert Hatter people. And
But the parents, in defense to the parents, you're gonna have people. It's people were coming at me trying to deter. Man, why you? Man, shut the hell up talking to me, man. Why you gonna send your kid to?
Hatter. This is the thing. So you got this. Is what I told some people on the show. Some of us are afraid to change our circle, Jimmy. That we're afraid to change our circle, man.
I said that in the beginning. And people, Clarence Harris came on and told me, Robert, you got to change your circles. You got to bring them up. Say this again, Chris. I hope Clarence Harris listens.
Think about it. When things don't go right in your life, you can do two things. You can look in that mirror, which all of us are afraid to do, right? Or I'll take a Hicksism. If you put a preacher and you put a drunk in a car and they drive from Houston to Gainesville, Florida, you're going to have 2 preachers or 2 drunks. Am I right, Jimmy?
Yeah.
We're afraid to change our circle. Even on this feed right now, I'm looking at all the parents. Not my kid. All right, let this professional coach dig into your situation. And you know what they're going to say? Ooh, I thought he had good grades. Well, what good grades to you don't mean good grades to me. Good grades to Robert Hatter ain't good grades to Harvard.
You're right.
So the question is, what is the expectation in your household? Is it to be a great student? Is it to be a senator? Is it to be a college graduate? What is the expectation in your household? Because long as he's not failing his good grades to somebody, what the hell is that going to do for somebody? What's your expectation? As Black people, what are our expectations of our culture?
That's a good point.
I love LeBron. Give a goddamn about LeBron. We need some LeBrons in the education field. We need some. You know what I wrote about in my book? That's true. And I'm gonna let Jimmy take it after this. People think, oh, Black people are more athletic because we have a fast twitch muscle, or we jump higher because we can do this. People think that nonsense is true. No, it's just we focus more on it than they do. By the same token, that would mean, because in the tech world, it ain't none of us there, that would mean that they actually are smarter than us, because there is more of them in the tech world than it is us. So what you're saying is God gave them a different little gene that makes them smarter in technology?
They focus more on that, Chris.
Focus more on that.
Awesome there, Doc.
That's why I'm telling you, if black folks want to be better with their money, guess what they can do to get better with it? Focus more on it. But you know where we are? Fear. We don't want to learn. So we'd rather be afraid and lose out and be prideful, right? Than to eradicate the fear and focus more on our weaknesses. Hey, you know how you become stronger? You don't become strong about working on your strengths. You become strong about working on your weaknesses. Go on, Jim.
Man, it's hard to come behind that, man. Good gracious, man. You can't do me like that, man. Good. Now,
No, but Jimmy, you the authority.
Now,
people
here's
need
the
to
thing.
know, they see you ranking people. They need to know that when we at Papados and we at El Tiempos, we talking about other stuff. Yeah, we talk about this, but it hurts our hearts as brothers that are out there trying to make a change. Now, Jimmy, you a guy's got to make a living. We talked about NIL yesterday. Hey, man, you're part of making a living. If they want to come spend their $20, you ain't gonna turn them away. If you want to run tournaments and people want to help you build your brand, you're not gonna turn them away. But they got to understand there's a human side of Jimmy Hicks that's like shaking his head, like, I just can't believe these parents allow these kids to do this. I can't believe I put on an event when 20,000 parents will show up. And then when I put on an event to help them learn how this process works, nobody shows up. They don't think that you care about that, Jimmy. They just pigeonhole you like, man, Jimmy just trying to run a tournament and make some money. That's why they got to hear you talk about that other side. Because it is true. Because I know that's true about you. And we sit there and talk about it. And it's one of the reasons, to be honest with you, why we started Chop Shop.
Yeah.
To put the truth out.
And a lot of and sometimes we forget that a lot of the parents, you guys come in cycles of 4, meaning at 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade, and they're gone. They don't really look back and focus on. And then another regime comes in. They inch in 1 year after year. Then 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Then they're gone. 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. They're gone. And then some will come and remain back, as you guys were just educated from Troy Bieniemy, and he told you who his brother is, but he didn't tell you who his son is. His son was an all-state player who led his high school to the state championship game of the highest classification in Texas at Katie Tompkins High School. His son's Jamal Bieniemy, who started at University of Oklahoma, and now he starts over at University of Texas at El Paso. So he still makes it an effort to come back and tap into the Chop Shop, because this stuff is not just tailor-made only for 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade parents. We provide a lot of life skill and a lot of conversation, and we raise your antennas on a lot of issues that you aren't likely to get anywhere else. This stuff about these young people, and we're talking, and I'm reading a lot of the comments in the Boom Boom Room right now. And the thing is, like our Ken Gamble says, he didn't think it was a problem. He had a parent recently that pulled their kid back because they made a C, but he didn't really think it was a problem. Yes, it is a problem. Let me tell you why it's a problem. It becomes a problem whenever there's a kid that is ranked in that is under the limelight of a city like Houston, and it becomes transparent to even a novice. Wait a minute. The guy above him is going to this school, and the 2 spots below him is going to this school and that school. Wait a minute. Why isn't he not signed right now? Chris, you can't fool a career college coach. You know, if that answer, it only can be 2 answers. One, because you probably committed to somebody, decommitted, and you're still opening up right now. Or number 2, academics aren't in order. So that brings us back to the question: why are so many before it get to this point in the 12th grade? I'm not talking about now. Like you just said, Chris, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. So that means for every parent that's naive, who's expected to be more prepared for this messy intersection? Who's expected to be more prepared? The parent or that person of influence, a la the grassroots coach, a la the trainer, a la the program director? they're expected to be more prepared and understanding of what the hell is going on. The parent,
But Jimmy, they don't want. But Jimmy, they like roses. They want the rose, but they don't want the thorns. If the kid end up doing good, they want all the credit.
Oh my goodness, I get sick of that. But keep
But
going.
if the kid end up doing bad, they blame the parents. Again, change your circle. But you know why people won't change their circle? Well, it's a Nike team. Man, what Nike got to do with what we talking about right now, man? You don't get paid from Nike. What the hell is wrong with you? Well, it's an Adidas team. Bruh, you don't own no stock in Adidas. Adidas don't give you shoes or write you a check. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, people don't really understand how commerce and how this thing works. There's only going to be so many kids out in the city of Houston every year get a scholarship to Division I school. It's going to be right around 25. And that's it. That's the cutoff. It's more than 25 playing. So what are them other kids doing? Like, people don't really want to understand numbers here.
Wow.
There's 4,500 kids playing college basketball. Only 30 going to get drafted, and only probably 20 of those are college kids. So what are the other 4,530 kids doing?
Great point, man.
Let's have a real conversation and stop this nonsense. Well, he going to be a rapper. Well, how many rappers are actually making money? How does he pay his light bill?
Chris,
I mean, how much money is he?
Chris, Chris,
know what liquid means.
Chris, help me out with this, because you done said something earlier. You talked about the summer coaches. You call them some of them sorry. And then King Sticks just said these grassroots coaches don't care about no grades. So you mean these guys out here really? I mean, y'all mean to tell me these guys out here really don't care about these kids' grades?
Why should they care? Now, I cared. You know why I cared? Thank God I was a former college coach, because I wanted to, either take them somewhere with me, or I got off on making sure that they got a scholarship. That's how I put my chest out. Hey, man, you go to CWA, you're going to be a college scholarship. You're going to get a scholarship one day. Because I used to work with the Fifth Ward Enrichment Program, right? Back in the day. I said, hey, guys, y'all want to change what's going on? Y'all got to get black kids going to college and marrying women and getting a degree, and they have two parents that are college graduates. If you got two parents who are college graduate, I guarantee there's a high chance of a kid being a college graduate too. You got to get them to college, because then they're going to probably meet their wife in college. So if they both got degrees, they're going to make sure they can get a degree. That's how you change the social economic status of a neighborhood. It's not, well, if he makes the NBA, he gonna get a bunch of money. That ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about. That's just a dude that's gonna help contribute to the economy and buy some Escalades and some watches and some houses. That's all that dude is. But Chris, I don't mean we're gonna change what's going on in our community. But back to what you said, Hatter.
Okay.
If the parents don't care,
I got you,
and they let somebody just come pick their kid up,
okay,
just because they got a certain swoosh or logo on their shirt,
okay.
If the parents don't care,
okay,
and the coach is telling you all of the shiny things around the situation, because that's what the parents want, right? Well, you know what he said? He said they could get him a scholarship. Hey, who was that dude coming to pick your kids up? You realize at the end of the day, it still comes down to talent. But if he don't have his academics in place, why would like, I know Kenny Gamble said a C. Why is it? I'm not chopping up Kenny Gamble, because I know he cared. Why is it that we think it's okay to rise to low expectations? Why is that? Why isn't the AAU coach going, hey man, listen, man, you can't play on this team unless you do this. But you know what? John Uri want to make sure he win that tournament that weekend. He don't give a damn about that. And he a teacher. Am I lying, Jimmy? Am I lying? He care more about being. I don't want to chop up John. I'm just saying, like in that he care more about winning that tournament. Hopefully he can get a sneaker deal. Hopefully he can get on social media and brag. He don't give a damn about whether that kid is taking care of what he needs to take care of, so he can be employable one day, so he can be a citizen one day, so he can know the difference between owning a house and know what an APR annual percentage rate is. I'm just telling you. And these are the people that have influence in their lives, guys.
Yeah.
Change your circle. But you know what? Some they're afraid to change their circle, because you know why? Well, that means I'm gonna miss out on getting these shoes, Oh, he's not going to be able to go on that trip. And then guess what Jimmy just said? And we talked about, I don't want to chop up Tommy Mason Griffin. Hey, let's get Tommy Mason Griffin on the chop shop one day.
We tried, and tried. And
let's
I
get
thought
Tiny
we had
Martin
him.
on the chop shop one day.
I thought we had him.
Let's get them dudes. Everybody said, well, can't miss guys. And get them dudes on the chop shop. Let's get all them dudes that played with Damian Dotson on the Houston Hoops team. And Damian Dotson made it to the league and the other guys didn't. Let's get those guys on the chop shop.
And I'm sitting there looking at Keith Fobb. You know, we don't want to put the blame. And we're not putting all the blame on the summer coaches. But the summer is 6 months. And ain't but 6 more months of the rest of the year. So we're not putting blame. We just trying to find what is the divide here. See, Chris, I'm a wolf from the original pack, right? I don't know about these new wolves. I'm a wolf from the original pack. Coaches, y'all listen to this carefully. I don't get into win-lose deals. If I get in a deal, I want you to win. When I'm negotiating, I want the team to win and the player to win. I don't get into wins, lose. I get into win-win deals. And I look around at the team, and Chris said, watch your circle. My team is so strong right now, you walk in, you don't know who the leader is.
Right.
Listen to me, y'all. I'm not trying to teach my son or my guys around me. I'm not trying to teach them just to compete. I'm going to teach them to dominate no matter what industry we in. We can't just keep competing, y'all. And when we sit here and talk, how long we been on this show since? It's a whole cycle of ninth graders that been out of college, right? These parents and these summer coaches and these counselors, they have the advantage of turning on a YouTube or a Facebook channel. So we got one guy tweeting about them Facebook shows, but we're on YouTube too. Let me tell you something. For 5 years, we've been explaining and helping this thing and trying to offer solutions to this thing. And I'm going to teach you. We got to quit teaching them how to compete, and let's teach them how to dominate. Let's dominate the SAT. Let's dominate whatever we're doing.
That ain't cool, Hatter. That ain't cool. It ain't cool to be smart, Hatter.
Dude, who is the guy talking about Obama didn't do nothing for black people?
Oh, man, please.
Hold up.
Get me started,
but I sit there. I know a certain group of young men, and one happened to live in my house because he used to come talking about, Dad, I wear glasses, and people talking about I'm in all these AP classes talking about I'm a nerd. Dude, Barack Obama came out 2008. Walked across that stage. He saw an example. I said, look, you can be a nerd and run the world. You can be and be the president of the free world. You can be a nerd, son. Yes, he helped a son. Hold up. He even affected the guy that y'all got in jail. They got in jail. Well, he got himself in jail. R. Kelly. I took my son's whole basketball team to R. Kelly concert back then. And R. Kelly told all the young cats, I just so happy, I didn't know he was going to say this. In the concert, guess what he said? R. Kelly said, we don't need no more R. Kellys. We don't need no more rappers. Chris, I think, just said that. We need some more Barack Obamas. So don't
can I say this, Hatter?
I'm sorry, huh?
Can I say this, Hatter?
Come on, baby.
Again, I'm not even chop up Keith Fobb here. Why are we faulting the summer coach? He's a summer coach. Let me tell y'all something, man, about African Americans, man.
Come on.
70 to 80% of African American kids grow up without a father in their household. Do you understand that?
Okay.
That means a whole lot of dudes that have fathering babies and ain't being daddies, right?
So
or daddies and ain't being fathers. Mm-hmm. So you know what Chris Walker was as that summer coach? And I'm not saying the people I coach were like that, because a lot of them were two-parent homes, right? You become that parent as a summer coach. You become Uncle Junior.
Yes.
That's your role. Hatter know about putting money and taking care of kids and taking them home.
Yes.
You become a surrogate parent in the hood. It ain't like that in other cultures. It's like that in our culture.
That's a good point.
We called to do more. Stop shirking your responsibilities. I'm just telling you.
We got to dominate, Chris. Chris, he thinking about competing. We got to dominate.
Why wouldn't you want to be more in that kid's life? Why wouldn't you want to be the make sure he gets good grades? even if his mama don't know and she overworked and undervalued. Why wouldn't you want to be that in that kid's life? I know countless number of kids' lives. I know a dude named Ray Turner. Jimmy, you remember Ray Turner? Y'all need to get Alan Branch. You know how do you know Ray Turner?
Wow.
If there was no Alan Branch or Robert Hatter and Terrell Henderson, that boy life, we don't know where that dude would be right now.
Hello.
You called to do more as an African American, and he's getting these kids lives.
And he's 6'8", 40 pounds. How would you like to see that coming in your window, trying to steal your stuff, trying to take something out of your house? Instead of overseas and running around the world making money, got a family and everything. That Ray Turner. Keep going.
And you know we don't realize that happened. I'm gonna tell you another one.
Okay.
Tag Minor. Jimmy know this
Yes.
was very effective.
Yes.
Tag Minor.
Yes.
People say what they want. Tag Minor got a great job. He got what? Jimmy, tell him about him. And you would never have thought back then that Tag Minor. But if it wasn't for Jimmy Hicks and even Wayne, right? If it wasn't for them dudes, that dude's life. Where would he be right now, Jimmy? See, we don't understand our value, man. We don't understand that this, and even though the kids don't know it and they don't give us love for it, that ain't why we're doing it. I tell kids all the time, yo, you can say whatever you want. You know why I do this? Because it make me feel good. Yeah, there's some things you think I get because I'm doing it, but trust me, I do it because it make me feel good. And know why you blessed? Because I'm a good dude and I want to help everybody else. I'm a servant leader. You're blessed because my mind is in the right place. It ain't about what you can do for me. I get off on what I can do for you. You didn't get me to where I am, son. But you know what? If I can do one little thing to help you get to where you are, that's my Super Bowl. So stop thinking because you can hoop that it's doing something for me and changing my life, son. Lost your mind.
Out your rabbit ass mind.
Lost your mind. Jimmy Hicks been doing this forever. You know how many L's that dude take on a regular for these crazy parents?
Chris, I am so glad you said that. Chris, some of these dudes walk around here like it's like that. I hoop. They want to be around with me. They want a piece. Dude, you ain't got a piece of nothing I want. You must don't know how I live, player. You ain't got nothing I want, player.
Man, if you know how many kids I can talk about that I've seen come through the AAU circles of being a college coach that everybody thought was going to be, I wish I could bring them on the child. But see, that's the problem. They don't want to show them. We don't hear them speak. We only want to talk about the athlete that got drafted and didn't make it, Jimmy. Do you know how many dudes that thought they was going to get drafted and didn't make it? That's where the real problem is. It ain't the ones that got a chance.
Right.
It's the hundreds of thousands that didn't get a chance that thought they were going to make it. That's the problem.
In the words of Jimmy, what Jimmy said, well, Hatter, that wasn't the plan. I hate when he said that. Well, Hatter, that wasn't the plan. He make me sick when he said
I don't know
it.
how Jimmy Hicks does what he does. And again, I remember when Jimmy started this thing. I don't know how he does what he does, seeing all the ignorance out there. And if you try to address it, everybody call you a hater. If you try to go against the grain and try to do the right thing, you don't care. Jimmy can't even be objective and do rankings. You hurting somebody's kids. Jimmy ain't got one scholarship. Haller ain't got one team. He can't get nobody on team, and Jimmy can't get nobody on scholarship. At the end of the day, I tell every parent, you can say whatever you want to me. I'm going to give you 100 things you can say. Chris Walker, you selfish. Chris Walker, you just care about you. Chris Walker. I'm going to give you all I just want one thing. Is your son good enough? Is he good enough? Like, is he good enough? Like, you want to say everything negative about me. I'm like, well, what about him? Can he play? Because at the end of the day, that's what we create. We create this bubble by trying to help everybody, right? And we don't realize sometimes it's just competition out there. It ain't enough spots for everybody. Somebody got to be the postman, Jimmy. Somebody got to deliver the mail.
Yes, sir.
Somebody got to work at TSA. Somebody got to bring me
Tag Minor.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
The FedEx truck just passed by. Somebody got to do that.
UPS. Why we don't have kids saying, hey, man, I want to drive a FedEx plane. Charles Smith daddy drive a FedEx plane. They make a lot of money.
Yes, sir.
You say, I want to be a FedEx pilot.
Yes, sir. Make a whole lot of money.
I'm telling you, it's our fault too We don't expose our kids to other professions that people are making $200,000-$300,000 a year, living great lives, and they only think they can be Deshaun Watson.
But hold on, Chris. Chris, when I talk about that kind of stuff on the show, guess what? They tune off and go see something else. Talking about this ain't sport. It's life, y'all. This stuff, excuse me, Lord. The stuff we talk about, this is life. We communicating life to you. Life. You got to play. You're going to play basketball, but it's some life. We're going to play sports, but it's some life you got to live when Jimmy, and Chris, when the music stops, where you going to be? Because the basketball going to stop, Chris.
No, they don't think it ever going to stop, Hatter. But you know what, Hatter? We need to get a couple of them athletes, right, on this show, and let them see and let them hear it, and then cut a couple of athletes that everybody thought was going to be can't miss guys, Jimmy. And then let's get a summer coach here and grip his ass and put him on. Hey, man, let me ask you a question. Yeah. Why is it that you don't have any kids? Well, it's Jimmy Hicks' fault. No. We heard that your kids, they academically don't make it. So what you say, man, it's the parents' fault. But you steady rounding them up and finding every dollar you can get to take them to tournaments. So what's the point of you taking them to a tournament if they can't make it academically? Make that make sense to me. You rounding dudes up, taking them to events. I got to get them exposure. How about get them exposed to a math book? How about get them exposed to a tutor instead of get them exposed to the icebreaker? Let's break that ice first, because I'm telling you guys, the bottom line is, Jimmy and Hatter, we don't value education, and people don't want to hear that. So maybe everybody on the show,
Chris, the price tag has been changed. We don't value education no more. Education used to be the highest price thing in the store. Now they got it. Jimmy, where you say they had a sale rack at? Where the hell you say they had the sale rack?
In the back.
Now they put education in the back of the store. Chris,
it got a big red sign say clearance. It's in the back.
Clearance. I hope that don't go over some people's head, Chris. I just really hope. Go on, Chris, Jimmy.
I'm trying to figure back when we was in school. You mentioned Coach Favre, and Chris. I want to add something to you. He's a volunteer summer coach, but his day job is an educator. He's a teacher, and at one of the schools in DFW. So people that don't know him understand he does have a day job. Oh yeah, but he wasn't singling him out. Also as an entrepreneur, as well. Yeah. But a black man in business that's helping other HBCUs and whatnot. Yes, now, here's what the question that he mentioned while you were talking. He mentions that a lot of these kids don't like school like we think they do. So and it took me somewhere.
I understand that.
A lot of these, remember I said a lot of times, I called the label. Some people called, back in the days when I first started, the label used to be street agent. That was the label. Remember how, as time goes, then the names change, the descriptions change. It used to be called street agent. Then it became what do they call them then? They call them handlers, which some people still call handlers. Then it became what I started calling was influencers. See, it gives a little bit more sophistication to it. Right. So if you're a person of influence,
POI,
right, then that means you have the capacity to make somebody try and possibly like something that they think they might not like. You're a person of influence. I remember when I was a little boy, my mother was everybody's mom, a parent was a person of influence. That's a free space in bingo. But there are some things that if mama wouldn't have made it sound good or look good while she was eating it, I would never eat. And I still eat to this day, like coleslaw. Nobody else in my family ate coleslaw, but mama made coleslaw look so good when she ate it. And I eat coleslaw to this day.
Me too.
And there are some other things that mama made look good that I don't eat anymore. But like gizzards and liver and stuff like that back in the day. But mom used to understand. Mom, I remember back in the days, 1,000 Island dressing, French dressing, stuff like that. Other people on your salad. I'm just saying, I used to put that French dressing on my salad. You know why? Because in the cafes that my cousin Alma had, the cafe over Fifth Ward, when you got your short order, or your hamburger basket and that little salad in one thing, she had to add French dressing on there. And I mean, but back to the point, you have the capability to influence a kid. Now, the thing is, yes, I firmly believe that a lot of kids don't care about school. That means indirectly they don't like it but did we like it? That's the thing. When we were in school, or you were in school, did you really like high school or good enough going every day? And I'm gonna tell you this.
I did.
School was a winning winning atmospheres. But I believe this, and I want you guys to chime in. If there's a winning atmosphere, it's fun to be there.
Oh my, yes.
See, so when I was coming up, Chris, you went to Milby. That means in football season, it might not have been fun going to Milby. But when basketball season came along, it was you didn't need no alarm clock. I was at Cashmere. Cashmere had a winning atmosphere when I was at Cashmere. So that means it was, dude, it was fun to be at Cashmere High School. And yeah, some guys left and skipped classes every now and then. But those who skipped classes for the most part back in those days, they skipped classes with a purpose. Meaning they gonna pick up their girlfriend and they finna go because mama at work and they going in the house and they finna smash. Chris, that was the most.
Jim, this Mr. Perfect
These
attention.
guys now, they just hanging on the corner.
Hey, Jim, this Mr. Perfect attention. I hated to miss school. I broke my leg in the 3rd grade. I came walking in with that cast, Jimmy. I didn't want to miss nothing about school. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what was wrong with me. I'd rather be there than be at home.
Be at the crib.
Because my mama ain't going to be making me do stuff. I'm sorry,
exactly.
Chris.
Let me say this about what Jimmy was saying, and I tell people this all the time, right? There is importance and there is influence, right? There's 2 types of people in your life. Forget about the ones that don't value, that have no value. Just because somebody is important to you doesn't mean they have influence over you. It's cool to have important people. Your mama could be important to you, but when you get ready to make a decision, Pookie could have the influence. That's the person you got to watch out for. When you're a college coach and you're recruiting, we're trying to find a champion in the process. The champion may not be your mama who feeds you every day. When a Hatter's an agent or a contract advisor is trying to sign this player, the daddy may think he got all the influence, but the girlfriend might have the influence. It don't mean you don't love your daddy. That's why I'm saying about these summer coaches. You can say whatever you want. In our community, summer coaches have influence over these kids. Am I lying, Jimmy? They have influence.
Yeah. Boy, you preaching, boss.
So if you have influence, that's a responsibility. You understand that? To lead them the right way. So guess what? When my kids, they don't like school, I jump on them about that. I make them understand why school's important. Seriously. I had a kid named Joey Brooks who went to straight Jesuit.
Yes.
You know, this is a true story, guys. I'm telling you what I know. Joey Brooks was recruited. He was a good player. He wasn't a great one, but he had a great high school career. Played for me. Then he was playing with the Hoops his last year. Do you know a college coach? And I wish Joey was listening. I wish his mom, by the way, who's an educator or a lawyer. Dad was definitely a lawyer.
She a lawyer.
I think they're both lawyers.
Dad, mom and dad.
Do you know a college coach came in a straight Jesuit one time? That's a true story, guys. And it was a high-level school. I'm not going to say the school. Walked to the front desk or the area that before they get to go to where they walk, because Wayne Jones was a coach at the time, my frat brother.
Right.
And it was like Stanford or something like that. Hey, can you tell me how to find Joey Brooks? You know what that lady said to him? What? Of a different hue. Why do you want Joey Brooks? Aren't you? Why are you here to see him? I'm trying to tell y'all what's going on out there, guys. And y'all talking about these basketballs bouncing everywhere. Because of these basketballs, we can get a whole lot of stuff done. But I'm telling you right now, that's the way they see us because that's the way we see us. Y'all dig where I'm coming from? So when I'm talking about summer coaches having influence, if you're a summer coach with your mind in the right place, right? Why would the kids be in the wrong place? If you raise
raise your kids the right way in your household, I'm not saying on the outside things can't happen. But they got a core of belief on the inside. That's why they say you need to go to church. It don't make you a Christian, but it stops you from going crazy stuff, though. It pulls you back in sometimes.
Yes.
You know
yes.
right from wrong. A person that don't know right from wrong is a dangerous person. But I'm just saying, people need to understand influence and importance. Yeah, you could be important to me, but you ain't got influence over me. The person you got to watch out for, Jimmy, is the one that can, when that kid say, what you think I should do, that's the person you got to find.
Yes,
my
sir.
mama saying this, saying that, but what you think I should do? Right or wrong, Jimmy? How many times we just seen it go south in recruiting? You tell me, Jimmy, every single time. That dude think the dude come in town, oh, I got all the juice. AAU coach, I got all the juice. I got all the juice. Man, you ain't got the juice. That dude over there that he in the car with right now, if I get that dude right there, I cut you clean out the game. College coaches will do surgery.
Then it happens. Then what they do, they dare you to do it. And then when you do it, now you get a life sentence from that guy. And he begged you to basically show and prove him wrong. That's stuff that college coaches have to go through all the time with guys. And you're just trying to understand the person of influence. That is really important. And a lot of times there are so, as he mentioned how Chris mentioned this a while ago. When you're dealing with dealing with these kids in youth sports, there are multiple people who claim that they have the juice. And certain college coaches, they don't know not to believe, who not to believe and who to believe. They just know, because I mean, you got the juice. So it's almost like, okay, I'm gonna trust in you and I'm gonna see. So that's time invested to find out that you rolled down to a dead end. And at the end of the day, that guy really don't have juice. He's got a cup filled with some empty ice.
Man, let me tell you something, man. This educational thing, I'm gonna give y'all one little, Hicksism. I don't know if it's a Hicksism, right? But I say this all the time. The reason why people don't want us to know about education, they don't want us to understand the law, they don't want us to understand finance, while the other people don't want us to get it, because we're the most creative and resourceful beings on this earth, people of color. And guess what? I'm gonna have you one saying before I leave. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. I'm just trying to tell y'all right now. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
And you know what, though? I'm sitting there listening to y'all. I'm watching the educators we have. I got a college coach, a career college coach. But I remember Billy Graham saying something, y'all. He said, a coach will impact more people in a year than the average person will in a lifetime. And this goes for teachers also. This goes for teachers too. A coach will impact more people in a year than the average person will in a lifetime. And when you mention coach, you're also talking about teachers. So, and I know, and Fob, you do both. Kevin Freitman, you do both. A lot of y'all do both. What Chris trying to show y'all are very, very impactful and important. Y'all will impact these guys. I'm gonna use a new word, impact these guys' lives. So don't think you do. When you're talking about, well, we don't have but 6 months. But then in your 6 months, take care of your business in your 6 months. And then guess what? Then you hand off the baton to the high school coach. Don't be mad at him. Be an ally with him. Okay, hey, man. Over the summer, this dude here was struggling and said, "Hey, coach, this what you get." What? Did not Jimmy? I know Jimmy got mad at me, but all I was saying, I said, high school coaches and summer coaches, y'all have more power than you think you do. I said that months ago, and people didn't understand what the hell I was talking about. But this the kind of power that I was saying y'all got. Chris, Jimmy, we can get out of here, but this is the power.
Let me say this one thing, because we got a great platform here, guys.
Yeah.
And I learned this from being on Sirius XM and being on CBS.
Uh-huh.
You know my job. You know we have a job here. You know what our job is. You know the best studio analysts are guys with a strong opinion. They don't want you. That's why the Chop Shop's a great place. They don't want you getting on here, just going with the tide. You don't change nothing that way, but just go along, right? Because the people in power, that's how they keep winning, because people are afraid to go against the tide. Now, I did say something a minute ago about a certain summer coach, and he took it very personal.
Yes.
And here's my thing. I don't give a goddamn how you take it.
Right.
I know I'm not wrong. And I'm on this show, everything I've done, I'm not comparing myself to anybody. There are guys that have been more successful.
Yeah.
There are guys that have been less successful. Period. All I'm trying to do is give you a blueprint. And if it's personal and you take offense to it, that's fine. But you know deep down inside when you get offended, you know I'm right. You know I'm right. And what you need to stop doing is stop crying about stuff and let's work together to make things work the way they should work. Because I don't care. You know what I used to tell dudes all the time? I don't care if you beat me in July. Guess what? I'm going to beat you on signing day when my kids sign at every school. Every kid I got signed where they want to go, and I got happy parents. You can beat me in a summer game, but can you beat me on the letter of intent day? Because you looking at a whole different thing I ain't even looking at.
Wow.
Yeah, I might play along with you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to play the sneaker game and do all the dumb stuff and have some fun with it. But on signing day, that's when we really going to have a talk. And then guess what you're going to say then? You're going to have 9 million excuses why that ain't right because you didn't realize I was pump faking you the whole time. Come on, Jimmy.
Chris, when you had the T-Mac All-Stars,
that's crazy.
How many signed off of that team?
Everybody.
How many was it?
And how many fingers?
How many was it?
Buttocks, eyes, teeth you got?
No, I'm just curious. I'm saying how many signed off that team?
Anybody that wore that uniform got a scholarship. 20? I don't know. Whoever played for me. It didn't matter. I had my own program.
Hey, Chris, could you do me a favor?
I ain't even about that.
Chris.
Because you got to understand. You got to understand, guys. I didn't care about winning. I care about
getting a scholarship. You told me that. I never forget that.
I would still beat that head in, but I didn't care about that. But I cared about getting him a scholarship because how can I, as a college coach, coach summer basketball, get on here saying what I'm saying, and then my kids don't go to college? How can I do that?
You know what's so unique?
You saw my program when I had TV.
Yes.
And they be like, oh, that kid there, knucklehead. That kid there, knucklehead. I say, watch this. I bet you I get his grades right and get him in school. And somebody said something about when I had Chris Walker Academy. Dude, it was only 8 players on the team. Guess how many of them got a scholarship? 7. Talk to me when you understand the game. Be careful who you're swinging at.
Hey, let me tell you how smart Shaquetta is. Shaquetta just said, Hatterton passed the baton to Chris today. I got to. He's a bad man. Hey, look here.
I'm not a bad man, but I don't.
Oh, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You don't have to say it. I can say it. But hold up, Chris. I got it. I want this 3 up today, y'all. And John Year is on here. We talked about you earlier. You had it. But I want us to get rid of these 3 cancers in life, Jimmy. Let's start the day on this show. Comparison, complaining, and criticizing. Let's get them 3 cancers. Let's get them. I call them the 3 cancers in life: comparison, criticizing, and complaining. Let's chill out a little bit on that.
Exactly.
But what else you got, Jim?
John with this nonsense. Villanova fired you.
Yeah,
I played at Villanova. I never got fired. That's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta watch.
Hey, hold up.
Hey, no, I'm gonna give him love. I'm gonna give him a little oxygen.
The elephant should talk. The elephant should talk to the turtle right now. Let's go, Jimmy. What you got,
nonsense, Jimmy? Man,
that's
not even true. I don't listen. That's old wounds that still ain't healed yet. You know how you have scars and you try to put the cocoa butter. Cocoa butter don't always work, guys. Just let you know. Some scars are gonna always be there, guys. Don't believe Johnson. Who made cocoa butter? Don't believe that. Cocoa butter don't get rid of all scars.
It sure don't.
I'm you know what? I didn't even really mention, and it's just a shame that John's reacting like this. But I blame myself because I didn't even really say that to go at John. I didn't even say that to go at John Urie.
I
just said a guy who is a teacher like a John Urie, who would be. Because I know a certain other person that was an educator and I thought John could take it, but whatever. I knew John. No.
Don't worry about that.
It's like even people that are in education that have kids that take them around and then it doesn't work out. There all it was.
That's all.
I mean,
and guess what?
And I was poking at John because John, I like to go back and forth with John.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with John.
No.
But I'm saying there are parents who are lawyers and their kids don't get grades.
Hello.
Come on, man.
Hello.
There's people work for the FBI and their kids don't get grades, Jimmy.
Hello.
Come on now.
That's good. Hey man, this my y'all. I have to
Tell
say
John I'm
I
sorry.
enjoyed
Tell John
myself
Yuri I'm
today.
sorry, man. I didn't mean to come at him. I didn't mean to come at him.
No.
I'm sorry, John.
Hold up. If that's what he took out of this 2 hours and a half, he need to take his ass back and listen to the beginning. So if that's what he got out of this, go back and look at the beginning, sir. Go back and look at the. Let's go back.
Yeah, I mean, that's we not to let.
No.
You understand? Divert your attention from what the narrative have been and what the topics have been today. That's the thing on that, and also, we want you guys. Hopefully, today's show helped to provide understanding, enlighten a lot of you guys on some things you probably didn't know, educated some of you, informed some of you, and also, entertain. It's a little entertaining every now and then on the Chop Shop. That's what we do, and that's why we ask you to share the show to your timelines, to your friends, to your groups. Give us a thumbs up if you're on the YouTube feed watching right now. And we also ask if you're a first-time viewer and just stop through. Yes, we are here Monday through Thursday from 12 to 2 Central Time. This is the Chop Shop. We didn't listen. Chop Shop, we've been around since 2017. Consistently. Monday through Thursday. At one point, it was Monday through Friday. We started on the AM. We've been on 3 different radio stations in Houston.
Yes.
On the terrestrial radio dial.
And Jimmy, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Morris Parson is on the feed right now, but keep going.
Shout out to Morris.
Yeah.
Morris.
Yes.
Yeah.
First time I get on TV.
Morris say, bring him his stuff you got, man. Bring him his stuff. You know what we're talking about. Bring him his stuff. That's what we're talking about. That's what Morris said. You got around. Morris say, you think you slick. You know where to find you right now.
Yeah.
You say you coming to Houston win.
You got it,
That's
Morris.
what I'm talking about.
You got it,
anyway,
baby.
hey, of course, on this one.
Finish that story, Jimmy. Finish that story. You was talking about how many different radio shows we've been on.
Yes, I mean, we've been on 3 different radio stations around Greater Houston. We in the band, and we're still standing in a consistent effort. Yeah. You guys understand, and for those that don't, many of you have heard the story before. The Chop Shop, this is probably one of the only shows that you're going to get on a weekly basis that there is absolutely no production meeting.
Sure ain't.
There's no pre-show production meeting on none of the days.
And no script.
2 hours, that's 8 hours a week. Understand, you know how much content you have to think about it. This is almost like a rapper freestyling for 2 hours every day. And you just naming the topics. Okay, I'm gonna rap about this. Name another, we're gonna rap about this. There's no teleprompter. Understand? And we're providing this to you. You don't know that. And we're just rolling. So we want to thank you guys for helping the Chop Shop to be what it has become. We know we serve a valuable place in your lives.
Yeah.
No matter what you to get out of the Chop Shop. We know we serve a valuable place. All we ask you to do is sometimes bring one of your partners in. And like we say, I got a tip for you. Send us an email with the topic that you and your buddy may debate about at the bar tonight. When you and him may talk about, send us a topic. Then we know we're gonna fire him up and let us know he's on, and just let us know, hey, can y'all talk about this particular topic? And we get right on it. Freestyling. Whether it be whether the Lakers are gonna make the playoffs or not, whether it be is Chris Paul a realistic front runner for the MVP, whatever y'all debating about, we got it on the Chop Shop. Or if it goes all the way down to recruiting. And the recruiting part, the reason we spend so much extra time on that, because there's absolutely no other show in the country that is going to exhaust as much energy as we do towards amateur or youth sports, specifically recruiting. Mm-hmm. Nobody's going to devote this much time to it. And as well as address your questions. Think about that. We dialogue with you guys while we're talking. We were talking earlier, if you missed it earlier in the show, talking about Eric Bieniemy is assistant coach for the Kansas City Chiefs. And guess what? We didn't know his brother was watching the Chop Shop. His brother said, man, I need to call in.
Yeah.
What's the number to the hotline?
Yeah.
He called into the show. If you missed it, you can scroll back after we get done and watch that conversation. That's how you never know who's watching the Chop Shop. I promise you guys. A lot of people, just because their name, they don't comment. That don't mean they ain't watching. Just because you look at that number and you see how many people you think are watching, there's a way to watch the Chop Shop without you being counted as one of those numbers. I promise you that. How do you even know that? There's
but Jimmy,
hundreds of
I get the analytics. I get the actual analytics, so I know who watching. I get it later, but while the show going on, we don't know. And then when I come and read the analytics, I said, that many people was watching the show? Listen, Jimmy, forget it. On YouTube alone, we ain't talking about Facebook. Last year, Chris, did you know we had 1 million minutes watched? I'm going to repeat that. 1 million minutes watched just on the YouTube town. I shout out to them people on YouTube. 1 million minutes watched, Chris. Chris, you know how valuable they are? That's why we got to get our algorithms up, Jimmy, and get to the 1,000. You have to get to 1,000, then they take you serious. Because we got we killing every other metric. Chris Walker, instead of somebody, and we started late, instead of somebody going and push a subscribe button and said subscribe. Tomorrow, in my monologue, when the show starts, Jimmy just said something about content. Chris just said something about content. Man, I'm going to show you how important this thing is in the monologue tomorrow. But, Jimmy, you can get us out of there if you're ready. But happy, Jimmy. Yeah. Women Rock Wednesday and
Cinco de Mayo.
Huh? Say it again. Who?
Cinco de Mayo, too, Hatter.
Oh, Cinco de Mayo. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't drink. That's do you. You just want to go drink some tequila. That's all you think about. He got a he Jimmy, a member of the Red Cup boys. He got a Red Cup. So get us out of here, baby. Look at Cynthia.
I was just typing something for you guys.
Okay.
As we get out of there, I want to dedicate today's show. Of course, it's Cinco de Mayo, and do your homework. Two things. Don't go to a happy hour today trying to, number one, act like you know how to speak Spanish, and don't. That's insensitive. Don't go and get one of them fake ass mustaches and wear it today around at an establishment. That's insensitive. And also, Cinco de Mayo, it is not the Independence Day for Mexico. So do your homework and leave it. You go and Google it before you go and get into a conversation about what today actually serves as and what Cinco de Mayo means. Also, in my family, Cinco de Mayo, the one day I'll never forget is because of the fact that it is a birthday. And we have a couple of birthdays. I see Sonia Billingsley.
And the BJ Woods, Coach Woods' son. BJ birthday today.
Coach Woods' son, happy birthday to you. And also, I just posted on the Facebook feed, happy birthday to my big sister, Giselle Hicks, up in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Oh, okay.
And so I'll never forget that day, Cinco de Mayo. So I was young. It just gave me a reason to go and get some sipping in. And Chris, I told
Jimmy, you that on this day. I love this day because I some of my greatest moments has been in Vegas on these days because Floyd Mayweather used to love to fight a Mexican guy of Mexican descent on this day because he get paid so well on this day. So I used to go to all of them fights. So I used to love May.
It's gonna be June the 6th now. June the 6th. He's gonna fight now.
Yeah,
June
but I don't want to see that.
Chris,
I don't want to see that, man.
I got one for you. I got one for Haller.
You know what I want. If you ain't got my, I don't want that.
Oh, dang.
I'm not drinking that mess.
Okay, hold on.
Give you know what I like. Let me see.
Hold on.
No, I can't drink that.
Hold on. Don't.
Jimmy, Jimmy, go get that other thing. You got that one thing I like. Yeah.
Hold on.
Come on, man. No.
Gotta ring the bell, Hatter.
No.
You gotta ring the bell. You gotta ring the bell, baby.
Jimmy, no, don't ring the bell. Fine. Where your bottle of what I drink?
Hey, I won the Super Bowl today, boy. I'm in. It's going down. I got say. Look, I got one dead. Look, it's empty. One dead and 3 scared. Boy, it's going to go down. One dead and 3 scared. We see you guys in 22 hours. Chop, chop. We up out of here. Peace.
Let me get us out of here, man. Hold up, y'all. You done messed up my controls over here, man. Hold on. I'm out, y'all. Here we go. It should be coming now. Chris. Oh, there we go, Jimmy.
Jim Hicks. Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop.